understandable.
I will make one comment about Bison, but hopefully it's not a lasting thing. I think his silver is not going to be silver for so long.
We'll see. Alright, Boingo, Simeon, Cody, you ready to get super?
I think so.
So who's in charge tonight?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Modular Components. I am your host, Boingo Writer, and with me is my Justice Gang. Say hello, Justice Gang.
Fuck you.
Justice Gang!
Hey everybody, what's going on? DCU hype guy here.
Oh yeah, you get to be that
Is
role
it
now.
all of us today?
I have been joking ever since I saw the movie that I'm constantly on the edge of just turning into the TF1 hype guy, but for DC now. That's like I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. The fucking podcast probably says Superman spoilers, so I fucking loved it. Okay.
Oh, what a
Yeah,
spoiler! You like the movie.
We can do that real quick. Okay, first we'll just hey, I like the movie. I thought it was really good. Buster, tell your people your thoughts.
I like the movie. I made a video about an aspect of the movie, but I like the rest of the movie too.
Cody?
It's nice to hope again.
All right, cool. Those are our thoughts. If you haven't seen Superman, go see Superman. We are going to spoil the fuck out of it.
Should we start at the end? Because I think Simeon wants to talk about that scene.
Oh god, you fucking got me.
All right. Go.
So when they cast Millie, I was like, I haven't seen her in anything before, but she's got a good look for this version of Kara. But I've been like cautiously optimistic, as I have been with all of the new DCU stuff ever since the slate came out, where I'm like, oh my god, they're doing Woman of Tomorrow. I fucking love that book. Or are they going to do it justice, though? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be the other thing? Is Tom King actually going to write the script for the movie? And when they cast Millie, I was just like, okay, I got to wait and see, because I haven't seen her in anything. However, I did watch the first season of House of the Dragon, because I was under the impression that she's in all of that. No, she's in like the first 4 episodes.
Oh, does she get like axed?
They age up the character.
Ah, okay.
And she's fine in that, but I had more of a general problem with that show, which is just, unlike Game of Thrones, I don't think there's anyone to root for in that show. I think everyone in that show is an irredeemable bastard by the end of the first season.
Not even like a funny, irredeemable bastard where it's like, you're so fascinated by them?
Like, in a way of, like, I get where a lot of these people are coming from, but I can't root for them after what I've seen them do.
It got to the end of Breaking Bad way too soon.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, she fucking nailed it. I am so excited for that movie. Like, no matter how insufferable I seem during this podcast, just know it's going to be like tenfold next June.
Yeah,
because I'm already like, the suit looks perfect. She looks perfect. She nailed the kind of voice I would want for this version of Kara. I like that they're making like the subtext from the narration actual text already on screen with her. So she's probably going to have a more overt character arc in the movie. And I know there's a lot of other hardcore fans of Supergirl who kind of hate how prominent Crypto has become in her stories since Woman of Tomorrow, and they want Streaky to have more of a prominence. I like the change that Crypto is her dog. I think it makes for a cleaner transition to that story, and it doesn't mean we can't get Streaky later.
Streaky's the unicorn?
Streaky is the cat.
Gotcha.
The unicorn is not a unicorn, it's a horse, and it's Comet.
Comet, the horse.
And I'm fully expecting Comet
I know it's
to
all
be in
comics,
that
right?
movie. Oh my god.
But
yeah, that's all there is to say about Kara at this point. We will now set her aside for the rest of the discussion. I promise.
The poster they revealed was good.
Yeah, the poster reveal looks good. And I also like that she has the coat over the suit. That's really cool.
Yeah,
like that's I just like that. I like putting street clothing or like regular ass clothing on superhero costumes. I think that's the coolest shit ever.
Because the first scene of that movie is probably going to be the bar scene from the comic.
Yeah, I was soy jacking too when she's saying the specific dialogue she said. I was like, I see. I know what you're playing. I know what you're. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, guys, how does it feel to be a punk rocker?
Because I'm a punk rocker. Yes, I am.
That doesn't
Yeah,
answer the question.
I know. I just want to. I've been having that
Sorry,
song
don't
stuck
hear
in my
that.
head like for the last couple weeks. Yeah. I think it feels pretty badass.
Another YouTuber who I think I've mentioned a few times. I went out of my way to watch his video. Captain Logan did a 5-hour spoiler cast on this, which I don't think we're gonna get that long. But he said something that I thought was really insightful and really on the mark about this movie's take on Superman. They're tapping into Superman being a Mr. Rogers-like figure in the DC universe because scholars used to say back when he was alive that Fred Rogers was countercultural because of how nice he was.
Oh yeah, basically, yeah. That's basically what Superman is in this movie.
It's interesting to think, though, because, like, it is very reminiscent of very early Golden Age Superman stories where he is a true righteous fighter for injustice, like against injustice and all that kind of stuff. Like, he broke into people's houses when a husband was beating his wife and was like, "Hey, fucking stop that," and beat him up, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was that kind of vindictive, fuck you for being an asshole. But the way they present it in this movie is through the decades, almost a century of Superman literature we have now, of the kindness and informing that, you know?
It feels very much like sort of the early 2000s reinterpretation of that we saw in a lot of comics at that time, which I think is probably the idea because that's probably when Gunn was reading comics the most. Um, just going off of like the stuff he likes to reference and pull from in interviews. But like there was always this sense of like trying to get back to basics with Superman at that time of fighting back against the cynicism of the 90s and early 2000s and saying like, well, Superman doesn't need to be all these things that you're trying to make him into with these deconstructions and countertakes because the whole point of him is that he is just the most powerful guy who's there to do the most good and he believes that he is always going to do the right thing.
Yeah, I think someone put it best. Superman's power fantasy isn't the powers; it's the kindness he brings. Like,
That's the ultimate like fantasy of most of comics is that
yeah,
it's not that like they have the superpowers, it's that they're actually able to do the
make
right
change.
thing every
Yeah.
single time. They're able to save it, you know?
And that's something I really love about this movie overall is that this feels like a return to DC as an aspirational universe in a way we haven't had in a really long time. Like I love those opening titles, which apparently were added after test screens, and I just can't imagine this movie without them because it immediately sets up like this is a heightened alternate reality. This is, I'm gonna say some things. I don't want to sound like I'm directly trying to like slap Boingo, but this is not the world outside your window.
No.
This is the world you want to live in.
And see, I'm saying this as a Marvel fan, as a general Marvel fan, MCU, comics, all that stuff. Marvel only succeeds as well as it can if DC is doing well.
Yeah, they both have to be like complementing each other in like interesting ways.
Because
Like
if one over eggs the pudding, it becomes weird. It just doesn't, and that's
If
what I
they
think
aren't-
the MCU has become for a lot of people because it's been Marvel. It's been doing Marvel stuff, but Marvel is sardonic. It's It's not nihilistic. It's cynical. It's a lot of these things of like, yeah, that's Marvel. Our Marvel heroes are fucked up. They're not good people. Like, no, they're good people, but they're not amazing, right? They're not going to solve all the issues perfectly.
They're more flawed than
They're very flawed, but DC
actually,
heroes
I
are
think
like,
you'll find that one of them is literally called Amazing.
It's amazing, though, I thought.
we go.
Well, that guy's over there, actually, but yeah.
Yeah, and like Superman is flawed in this movie, but he's still like, like I do appreciate them like.
but it's an aspirational flaw of just like, oh yeah, his flaw is seeing the picture for what it is and not being able to like play ball with other people. It's just like, no, fuck you.
He
Yeah,
knows he's not always going to make the right choice, but he is always going to make the choice that feels right in the moment.
yeah, and that's like a very different like character flaw than like whatever Spider-Man's character flaw is, you know?
Spider-Man's flaw is he builds himself up to a point in life where he feels like he can do no wrong, and then he falls flat on his face and has to climb back up there.
Yeah. I mean, I was just making like a general because there's been so many Spider-Mans at this point with like all sorts
Yeah.
of like different characterizations. But yeah, I get what you mean. Um,
I'm sorry, Peter Parker's flaw.
yeah,
Yeah, because here and we can that just be getting into the characteristics of Marvel. Back to DC, which I think the big characteristic is that it has these tentpole heroes that are idealistic and, well, maybe not 100% perfect all the time. They strive for perfection of self. Batman strives to be the guy who has a plan for anything, who can save everyone, who can take all the punishment he can in order to make sure that no one suffers how he suffered. Wonder Woman is kindness incarnate and the believer of truth in its entirety. Superman is truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. All these different kinds of things.
mm-hmm.
And how they affect the characters of DC who are more flawed. The Guy Gardners of the world, you know?
Yeah. Oh, which by the way, he was great in this movie. I know, like, my friend who's a big Guy Gardner fan, really loved the take on.
A lot of people have been saying that like this movie feels a little crowded, like there's a few too many characters.
No.
No.
I think they all balance out just right, and I really like that this is truly for the first time a movie about Superman that features the DC universe. For so long, it's either been here's a movie that is an ensemble piece that happens to have Superman, or just a Superman movie in a world where you don't have any idea that something else exists. And it's not like from the moment he's hanging out with Batman, it's like you get that narration that sets up the world, and then at the beginning of the second act, the Justice Gang shows up. It's a nice kind of mix.
Yeah, they
feels
trickle
like
it in. They trickle it in.
And here's the
One-
thing. The Justice Gang, in my opinion, are a stand-in for the Elite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I can
said
see
that
it.
on Bluesky the other day. Is like people keep comparing this movie to All Star, and like visually, I can see that. Thematically, this is Truth, Justice, in the American way.
And I just
Whatever
watched Superman
happened
the Elite. Yeah, I just watched Superman versus the Elite last night. Rewatched it with some friends, and I was like, man, like they really took a lot from the Truth, Justice, and versus the Elite for this like story. Like I don't know why Guns keeps comparing it to All Star. Maybe All Star in like tone and like structure, but like in terms of like,
And I mean the image of him and Crypto on the moon is clearly a riff on the image of Superman sitting in the clouds in one of the All Star covers.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know what I can say to this? This feels like what Superman would have been doing for years before the story of All-Star.
Yeah.
What are you about to say, Cody?
Yeah, go ahead, Cody.
I was gonna say I think Gunn talks about it more just the quite literal visuals, like the visual aesthetic of All Star for this,
Yeah.
as opposed to like the thematic.
yeah, the
Yeah.
visual and tone, like what it like feels to read it, not really like the actual story, the contents, you know.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of visuals, I don't think like the four of us have ever talked about this suit. Can we talk about the suit for a minute?
It's good.
Sure.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
I like it a lot. My one problem with it is I can't picture Ma Kent making this suit. And they don't say that she made this suit, but it's just a little too intricate for me to think she made it. So I kind of have a fan theory at the moment that I'm like, maybe he got it and it didn't have trunks in the S, and then he had her make those for him.
I'm going to. I'll say this might be like the third revision of the suit because he's been around for 3 years. So it's like it's just this is just the most upgraded he's been so far.
Yeah.
It's
Fair.
kind of what. Yeah, that's kind of like.
Yeah, he's also got the robots at this point, so like I could see it just being somewhere.
Yeah, I can see the
Yeah.
robots making it.
Yeah.
And the fact that like these parents, like had more of a vision than just trying to save their baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like do we want to just get into the whole L's thing?
We
Oh,
already
yeah,
said spoiling everything.
Yeah, we're spoiling
Yeah.
everything. No, they did not. Everyone's been comparing this twist to Invincible, and you don't understand Invincible or Superman if you're saying that. I'm gonna be real.
I mean, like, I can see the comparison very easily, but also, like, I think the big thing is a lot of people are either like, oh, it's a direct ripoff, or just they don't like the idea of making Jor-El quote unquote evil. And to that, I just want to say, like, Jor-El's not your dad. Okay? Calm down. Just because Jor-El is evil in this one version doesn't mean your dad's evil. Stop acting.
I don't
like
think he's
that.
evil. I still do not believe.
Yeah, like I thought, like even though they said, "Oh, there's no way it could have been like faked," and I'm like, no, they could still play around with that. They could still play around with that.
I think it could go either way.
To quote another DC story, you see what you want to see.
Yeah, and I think that's cool.
See, Gunn has been saying in interviews that they put all those little things of people saying it's real because he wants it to be real. But I think after the amount of backlash it's gone, he might reconsider, or he's bullshitting us. And I could see this being a Brainiac plot. Like maybe Brainiac got the pod and interfered with the message before he got to Earth somehow.
Okay, I can see one of three things. That could be one. Number two, this is how they're gonna be, and this Jor-El is gonna function as this universe's idea of Zod, which I can see happening.
Yeah.
Or what my interpretation of it all is they said something very similar in the second half to what was translated. But translation is a funny thing. And because what they're saying, oh, they're weak, they're easily manipulated, go and have many wives and children, right? That's what the translation says. Like, but what could it easily mean is you're strong, you can lead them, you can guide them, they are weak, but they can be better. Go and find family. Go and be happy.
And that does like thematically line up with this movie. So
But fundamentally, because Luthor and the Engineer were translating that with the belief that Superman is this evil invader,
they took it malice.
Of course, that bias is going to influence how they translate a text.
I also think,
and it also doesn't matter.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't matter.
Well,
because the point is. Well, but it matters for the movie, but like it also doesn't matter at the end of the movie because that's the point.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, and I apologize because I said we were going to table her not thinking about this. Kara's movie is next year. There's probably going to be an extensive Destruction of Krypton flashback in that. So either we're going to find out it's bullshit in that, or Jor-El is the weird MAGA uncle of the L's.
I'm down with either. Like honestly, I like
no. Would that make sending Clark to Earth his Doomsday Prepper basement?
Yes. I mean that joke has existed before. I've seen that in like parodies and stuff.
Yeah. And like I just think people are just overreacting. It's like this ruins Superman's arc in the movie. No, it doesn't. It's like it's just a different thing.
It's crucial to his arc in the movie. It just messes with your fundamental understanding of Superman. And it's the only thing in the movie like that, so I don't think it's a huge deal.
And so we also have to think about like all the other versions of Superman versus this one. Like when you look at all the times we've seen like in-depth looks at Krypton when it's operating. Obviously, it has a military. There's like, his parents are usually scientists. It's presented as a utopia, but like that doesn't mean it's still a whole society. Like that doesn't mean it's exclusive from anything per se. Superman is something that's happened completely outside of Krypton. Like no matter what theme. We always end up dealing with Zod, who's like a bad guy from that time, from that planet. Usually part of the military from that planet, meaning that he could be a pretty good representation for what other people on that planet feel and think like. So it wouldn't be too hard to see that. And we're used to seeing...
Oh, sorry, go.
No,
I thought you were done.
I was just going to say we're used to seeing Superman be at odds with that.
Yeah,
Kind of
but, like be
mentality.
odds with like Krypton's like military and like philosophies. Yeah.
Like, here's
Though
the
I will
thing.
say, because we brought him up a couple times, I don't want to ever do Zod in this universe.
Yeah.
Zod is like barely a character in the comics until the Donner film happens. And now whenever you do Zod, it's just in the shadow of Superman too.
Yeah.
And I feel like this universe needs to be above that.
Also, he literally Zod was just in the Flash, so that would be
Mhm.
pretty dumb.
Well, you say, oh, major Superman bad guys to the general public. What are the names they're going to say? They're going to say Lex Luthor, Zod, and Brainiac.
We haven't really done cinematic Brainiac, have we?
We haven't. They've hinted at it a couple of times, and it's always derailed franchises.
Wasn't the original Superman 3 Brainiac coded?
It was supposed to be Brainiac, and then they made it something more generic. Also, I think there was like a tease plan for Brainiac in Superman Returns that ended up getting scrubbed. And there was definitely plans to do Brainiac in a sequel to Man of Steel before they jumped straight to Batman v Superman.
Interesting.
If I may give a quick pitch for an idea, because like there's two villains in this movie, and I think that's a good fun way to have like different characters bounce off in different ways.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the name. That's Crew. Here's the pitch. You start off with a family of four in a rocket ship going up and falling, and John Krasinski pops out. He's Hank Henshaw. You do Cyborg, Superman, and Brainiac.
I keep seeing people say get him or Miles Teller to play Cyborg Superman, and I'm like, I mean, all right, but like, I don't want to go that way either. I want to do something like completely weird and unexpected next. We've gotten Lex out of our system. We finally did a good post-crisis Lex on film. That's amazing. But like, let's do something a little weird. Let's do something a little wacky. Let's do Parasite. Let's do Metallo. Let's do Brainiac. Let's do Mongol. Hell,
Toyman?
Toyman. Yes, please fucking do Toyman. And like this movie kind of sets it up. We could do Bizarro next movie.
Yeah.
We could have a part of the next movie take place on Bizarro World.
Oh man. Everyone going like, oh, is this really Ultra? No, it's Bizarro. He called him Ultraman it's Bizarro. This is the origin of post-crisis Bizarro.
I was hoping that Ultraman was actually going to be, God, you just said his name, the purple guy. I always forget the name.
Purple guy.
Parasite,
yeah.
Rudy Jones.
He literally because like Ultraman's never looked like that. Like, where the fuck did they get that design? That looks like
Doomsday.
someone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Doomsday in the eyes, and like it's the same company, so like they'd put him in the same outfit.
No, when Doomsday was first introduced, he was wearing a full costume like that with like goggles and everything, and then
I know that's what I'm saying, like eyes and goggles.
Yeah.
But that was from I thought. Oh well, I think there's a story where like Lex Corp put him in that outfit.
No, that's how he came to Earth.
Guys, with the Jimmy Olsen in this movie, and we need to talk about him, but we're saying so much like they could do this next. Silver Banshee in the next movie.
Ooh. Hey, Silver Banshee and Livewire.
Okay. All right. Let's get back into stuff that's actually in this movie.
Yeah, because I guess that just speaks to like how exciting and good the movie is. Where it's like, oh, I'm so excited for what's next, but it's like, no, this movie's still good. Like, it's still a good standalone movie.
And what's amazing is like, unlike when the Marvel Cinematic Universe started and it was exciting, there's not like an extensive wait. Peacemaker Season 2 is only a couple weeks away, and Gunn keeps saying it's a direct follow-up to this movie.
Yeah, I mean, Peacemaker did make a cameo in this movie. I did get a pop from my theater.
Mm-hmm. Okay, do we want to talk about the Justice Gang or the Daily Planet staff first? Because those are the two things I'm kind of jonesing on.
Daily Planet first.
Yeah,
because there's less to say, but they're still I still really like that they're in the movie. Especially because they're the ones who break the story that helps save the day. You know?
Yeah, like that's such a huge thing about this movie. The Daily Planet isn't just where Clark works. They are a entire supporting cast with a subplot. They are the characters from the comics we know, and they are integral to taking down the villain. Journalism matters in this movie in a way that it's never mattered in a Superman adaptation before.
Yeah, and like
And it's
Jimmy
cool
Olsen
that-
is just real fun to watch
Oh.
in his hijinks. They basically just do a whole like Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen like side plot in the movie. It's great.
We just need Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen TV show now.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, come on, HBO Max.
And he's he's comic book Jimmy. It's not just a guy in like a sweater with a camera standing there to be like, oh, look, Jimmy's there. It is literally that character who's getting into wild adventures that happen to tie into what Superman is going through. And for some reason, women find him irresistible, and he finds that very uncomfortable.
You know what I would
Yeah.
love to see, because it was a running gag in early Jimmy Olsen comics? I would love to see him walk in the Daily Planet in the next Superman movie, taking off a wig, wearing a dress, coming off of a case.
Mm-hmm. Or like just like a background news footage thing of him being Turtle Boy.
Yeah, yeah. This Jimmy's great. I love the little subplot he has with who? What did that girl have in relation
Eve
to her?
Tessmacher.
Eve Tessmacher. Yeah.
Who
what
is
was-
Lex's main henchwoman in the first movie, and she's not a comic book character
She's
at
appeared some.
all. Well, she's appeared some, but like her most notable appearance after that movie is in the Supergirl show. She's
Alright.
a character in that.
Actually, like real
But-
quick before I forget, there is a character who's I think is there does Otis the name ring a bell?
He's in the first movie too.
Otis is Lex's henchman in the first movie, and
Okay.
Eve is the henchwoman. And like they are both like, even though Otis is like barely in the movie, his name is a blink and you'll miss it thing. They are both way more well utilized here than they are in that movie. Like
Yeah.
Eve is literally just there to ask Lex questions so he can say exposition and then save Superman at the last second from kryptonite. In this movie, she is like intricately involved with taking down Lex,
Yeah.
and it's made to be like a conscious choice of hers that doesn't come from any place other than like being stuck with him sucks. I need to get out of here.
Yeah. And also just Otis, just like I just liked Otis in the first movie too. But like, yeah, I did like the reinvention of him of like having to be this like kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of helping Lex manage the whole like Ultraman like fighting game combo thing. Which
And I
like,
love that they give him a moment with Happerson, who is like one of Lex's main henchmen. from
the
comics.
Beatles looking guy, right? The guy who looks
Yeah,
like
Mustache Man.
Mustache Man. He was really funny.
Yeah.
Who was played by a longtime collaborator of James Gunn.
Yeah, there's a couple of James Gunn collaborators in this.
He
I mean,
looks a lot like comic book Happerson. Like I've been reading the Death and Return of Superman on and off over the last year, and he's a major like character in Lex's subplots during that time. And like the way he was drawn then looks a lot like this actor.
yeah. Or
But
the makeup team probably did like a great job, like just replicating these comic book looks on the big screen.
Was his
Probably.
brother in this somewhere?
Yes.
His brother was Maxwell Lord, and when he got cast as that, people were so mad. They were like, "Oh, he's just giving out favors again. That's James Gunn. He only wants to cast his friends and his family." And I'm like, Maxwell Lord is in one scene on a TV, and he has one line.
Yeah, it's a really good line, but still, like, yeah, it's just he's just a blink and you'll miss it cameo. It's like, oh,
I definitely missed it.
Yeah, he said the line, finally something liberals and conservatives can all agree. Lex Luthor
Oh
said.
no! Okay, yeah, I remember seeing. I didn't even think that was Maxwell Lord or anything.
Yeah, that's
I
Maxwell
thought that
Lord.
was just a guy.
You know what? Conspiracy theory, Sim.
I
think
do
he
now
ca-
remember seeing his face, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, his brother.
Conspiracy. I think he cast Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord to avoid the one plot line where Maxwell Lord kills Blue Beetle and that whole bullshit.
And then
they are-
Wonder Woman
I
kills
make
him.
I am purposely casting him as a goofy character so we don't even think about doing that plot.
And
line.
even then,
I-
we're already like grandfathering in like the 2023 Blue Beetle movie, and like we already established 3. Like we can't really do that plot anyway. So
I also think because he's gonna be in Peacemaker Season 2, I think he's here to be like, he gave his brother a job for the rest of his life. He's going to be like a sillier Nick Fury for this franchise.
Yeah, like, I mean, we already have Amanda Waller, but like, you know, like we got 2 Nick Furies walking around. So. There are different flavors of Nick Fury.
Yeah, and he's also said in interviews that like he's setting up kind of 2 competing billionaires clubs. There's an evil one that's made up of Lex Luthor, Simon Stagg, and Maxwell Lord, and there's a good one. And he hasn't said what the good one is, but I'm like, we all know it's Bruce Wayne, Oliver Queen, I forget Terrific's real name, and probably also Ted Kord. No, it's Michael something.
Michael
Terrific.
Michael Terrific, yeah.
You're right.
Michael Randall Terrific.
Yeah. Oh, can we talk about Mr. Terrific? Since we're like on like the ensemble. Michael Holt. Yeah. We're talking
fucking
about
hell, amazing.
Goddamn, Mr. Terrific.
What a fucking redemption for that actor, going from Darwin and X-Men First Class to this.
I think was that a different? No, I think that's a different. I think
no, it's him. They've been talking about it in interviews where it's like he's finally getting what he deserves.
Oh, okay. Like, I thought for a second I thought that was people were mixing up people, but like no, okay.
I messaged Cody about this the other day. He had like Sam Jackson energy in some scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also I think that was us gushing on one of the posts on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I saw an okay, go.
I was just gonna say, like, I've not talked more about a movie after a movie than I think this movie, honestly, just because it's had it just because it did so much right. But like, yeah, with Mr. Terrific, I was gonna say, or that was the first thing that they were fucking up, is that they promised him that his X-Men character was gonna come back.
Mm.
Oh,
that's what I remember. That's crazy.
No, I thought that's what they said in those articles.
Yeah, no, he said in interviews that basically they were gonna kill me, but they said, "Oh, we're gonna bring." The producer said, "Oh, we'll bring you back," and that never happened.
Damn. How much do you want to bet that was an Ike Perlmutter thing?
But oh my god, what a fucking coup it is right now to have like the cheeky Marvel DC competition metatextually coming back, where like Marvel puts out a movie that's like, look at our fucked up crazy take on Superman. Then this movie comes out and it's like, look, here's Mr. Terrific, who anybody looks at him and they're going to go, oh, he's called Mr. Terrific. That's a takeoff on Mr. Fantastic. And then Fantastic Four is coming out next week.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, and even then, like, you know, I read, like, after this movie, I decided to read the Terrifics comic. Great comic. Like, I really love the character dynamics there. And we already, like,
it's literally just Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I know. But it's still a great comic, and I'm just saying, James Gunn, we already have 2 of the 4 members established.
Who else do we need for that?
Plastic Man
and Ghost Girl, but she was actually introduced in that comic.
Yeah, different, like a new interpretation of that character. Yeah, so
because Ghost Girl typically is a member of the Legion. This is like a modern, present day version that would inspire her later.
Yeah.
Now, I know that this universe is the universe that's going to give us a Plastic Man. I don't know how or when or why.
Oh.
Yeah,
but like it is very apparent.
I mean,
I just throw my fan casting
about that before y'all got here. Like, James Gunn's favorite Batman character is Batmite. We're getting the goofy shit.
May I propose my fan cast for Plastic Man?
All right, I'm considering.
Ben Schwartz.
Yes.
Ooh.
Has he played it before? No, but no. Yeah, no.
Has he played him before? That's a good question.
Yeah, because I feel like
actually
I'm thinking of it
might have been in like a cartoon or something.
I'm thinking of Invincible.
I do love that you bring up fan casting, Boingo, because like ever since this movie, like every couple of days, I think of like 3 different Superman rogues and actors I would like to see play them in this universe.
Oh man.
But I think it just speaks to the excitement this movie's provoking in people. It's like I want to see.
Yeah.
Like. I'll throw out one I had already thought of, but you brought it.
Ben brought the Schwartz wants to play Plastic Man.
Yeah, I think I remember reading it. Come on, Gunn.
He's made public statements asking Gunn.
No, here's the thing. He played the Shapesmith in Invincible.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that's what I was thinking
so silly.
About that.
Yeah,
but like, Boingo, you said Toyman earlier. Bill Hader.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Actually, can I rant
Isn't
about something
Toy
about
Man
my
usually an
Superman
old man?
screening?
No.
It depends on the interpretation. Toyman has been older, he's been younger.
Okay, I need to there's a couple stories I have of my Superman screening that you just brought up with the mention of Bill Hader, because Bill Hader's going to be in this Cat in the Hat movie, and oh my god, seeing that trailer before Superman blinded my eyes. That movie's way too bright. Oh my god, I was
I
like,
have not seen the trailer for that yet because it wasn't. I've seen this movie twice, and I think this is a movie that you need to see multiple times.
Yeah,
Maybe not in the theater, but to get the full read on it, at least you need to watch it once in a theater and once on streaming or whatever. But my first screening, and you and I both did this. We got the Amazon Prime a few days early screenings.
yeah, I mooched off my brother.
My screening just went right into the movie. There were no trailers. And then my second screening, I got a couple different things that looked pretty generic and didn't leave any impression on me. But then the last trailer I got before Superman was the latest Fantastic Four trailer. And seeing that in a theater, I've been kind of, after the initial reveal where I was like, okay, they get Fantastic Four, I've been kind of lukewarm on that movie. Now that I've seen the trailer in a theater, I'm jazzed to see that in a theater.
Yeah, same. But I mean, and also just there was a really loud guy in my ear in my first showing, and that really annoyed me. It reminded me
of my experience with the Batman.
Yeah, there was he was right next to me. I was in a crowded theater, and there was this really loud guy who was like, "Yeah, I mean, we all were popping off for things, but it's this guy popped off for every single little mention. It's dude, calm down, my ear hurts. I'm right in he was right in my ear vicinity, and my one ear, I think it was my right ear, that was just constantly suffering. I still was locked in, but
you wanna talk about screenings?
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about
this for real. I'll tell the rest of mine after you, Snowcone.
I was just gonna say that me and Boingo, I mean, our audience was fine. I guess it was hard to keep track of everyone's general reaction because we went to the 4D RPX showing that has the roller coaster chairs that move with the movie, and they cranked that shit up to 11 for Superman. I got hit with somebody's lid from a cup for sure. Whenever the scene where he flies across the planet to go back to the Fortress of Solitude, they turn on every single fan in the building, and people shit just moved back a lane. You just saw stuff come up, and I straight up got hit with someone's lid. I know it was either sitting in their lap or it was cracked on the side of their cup.
Okay, but if there weren't loose items in the theater, that would kind of rule.
Oh yeah, no, there was a guy getting dumped confetti. There was a cannon shooting confetti for the winter scenes, and it was all landing in the front row, 100% the front row. As soon as I saw it,
snow machine.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, cover my popcorn! What the fuck?" But it never made it up to us. We got sprayed with water. We got smells. We got rocked around. Our chair broke because it was 3 grown fucking men.
I don't think it broke. I was trying to set my popcorn to the side, and I think it had a sensor.
Oh, so you triggered it. Because I remember watching the whole audience would sway like grass, and then all of a sudden we just stopped, and that's when it became ultra obvious how fucking crazy the chairs were going. And then it started again, and we were just it moves you. It really does move your ass around. No shot are you getting jostled, and Pat, who was with us, had just done legs at the gym, and he said that having to brace that much with his fucking legs was painful.
Oh no.
Because you literally kind of have to hold on a little bit, especially to your shit, but it really does move you around. Let me put it this way. Like I said, everyone was giggling and laughing because you couldn't help it. It was just fun sometimes. The whole thing was just fucking fun. There was a bunch of teenagers, edgy teenagers near us, and I know they were having fun because I heard them laughing. And we were just 3 30-year-olds, just audibly laughing.
That's the thing, right? To get into my own experience, this is the best theater experience I've had since Infinity War. I got there I got off work at 5 o'clock that day, and the showing was at 7. And I just spent like an hour and a half pacing around my apartment, being excited to go to this. I get there a half hour early, and then like I'm sitting down and I can see there's like a few seats away from me. There's a family a few seats down, and people start trickling in. The two people next to me are also by their own, so we all start talking to each other about like different expectations and whatnot. Like, um, there was a guy a little younger than me who said he was like a general Marvel movie fan, but he was interested to see like DC try to make a cohesive universe, and I was kind of hyping him up a little bit. And then there was a lady next to me, on the other side, who said she came just because she happened to catch the tickets thing in time to get this seat, like it was the last seat available, and she came just because she's a big Nicholas Hoult fan, like she sees everything he's in.
Respect, because he did great in this movie.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in a second, but then like the like lower row that's on the floor started filling up, and I swear like everyone in that section was like families with kids who were 11 years old or younger. And after the movie let out, I saw all those kids like well the credits were running and we were all waiting for a post-credit scene. All the kids like got up from their seats and started running around by the exits pretending to fly and chase each other.
Aww.
I'm not being hyperbolic at all when I say that like watching that, I didn't tear up during the movie. I started to tear up then. Like that was the first time I think all year I felt real joy. Cause
Aww.
that's fucking superheroes, man. They inspire kids to be excited about being good people and having fun with these powers.
Mm-hmm.
It really is something because I don't know, like I feel like this movie, like when we look to Iron Giant as like a kind of like a constant movie that'll always be looked back to. And its connection to Superman, obviously, but like, and plenty of people have already said it to where like this Superman is the Superman that Iron Giant looks up to, and I think that that alone is a very true and strong thing. But I think this Superman movie, just because of how like anti-current culture it is, and just like how strong it is by itself. I mean, yeah, we haven't seen what comes out after it, but still, I think it's going to be looked at as like, oh, you want the best Superman movie? Here it is. You
That's
want a
the
good story? Here it is. You want a good like a classic like why it is good to be a good person story? Here it is next to Iron Giant and a few other good classic movies that
and like
generations will watch.
that's the big thing I've been seeing about this movie is like it's there's been other things that are going to be grandfathered in, but it is the first movie in a new franchise, and already it feels like this extremely lived in and active universe. And Gunn has said like that's something he really shot for when he wrote the script. He wanted it to feel like you just pulled a comic off the rack. You don't start with the origin, you start with whatever has a cool cover that you see first at the shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's great. It's wonderful. And on Cody's note, when anybody's been asking, "Oh, what did you think of the movie?" all that kind of stuff, my go-to, like my front of the DVD box critic quote is this: "If the Christopher Reeve Superman was the best, most true to form of Superman at that time, this new version, David Cornsweet, is the total summation of all things Superman up to this point."
We haven't
Yeah.
talked about performances much, and I guess we can go ahead and get into that with Corn Sweat. And we said we were. I said we were going to get to Holt in a minute earlier. I really like Corn Sweat as Superman. I'm not as in love with him as everyone else is. The thing I have with him is he feels like animated Optimus Prime to me, where I'm like, he is not my mind's eye of that character, but he is such a good take and such a more honest, down to earth take that I'm like, no, this is good, and it could eventually get to what I think of one day, and that means it's fine.
I think that's fair, but I think in terms of the entirety of the film, this is just, it takes from every era of Superman. It takes from Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, Modern Era. Like there's a little bits and pieces all everywhere.
100%.
Yeah.
I was watching an
But
interview
it
where
feels true to those eras as well. That's what I'm trying to say.
I was just also going to say Gunn called the Lex Corp Luthor Corp because of Smallville.
Oh.
There's a direct reference to Smallville in this at one point. When the kaiju first grows big on that news broadcast, they say it was first spotted in a Jitters coffee house.
Yep, Jitters has been a common reoccurring name for coffee shops and DC properties. Because it was in CW Flash.
Okay, because I only ever knew about it in Smallville.
I've never watched Smallville.
I love Smallville, and
Smallville.
This is giving a lot of those vibes.
I'm in the camp that really doesn't like Smallville, but I respect it for its place in the culture in the greater canon.
I'm pretty sure me and you don't like Smallville for the same reason, and that's because while I understand it's a good show, I want to see Superman.
Yeah.
Show me the goddamn Superman.
That and I don't think Tom Welling. I don't think a lot of that cast are great actors, and I think like Tom Welling's Clark just comes off as way too long.
I just remember asking, I think it was my cousin when I was like way, way, way younger. I was like, "Oh, when does he get the suit?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's at the end of the series." And I was like, "Oh, I don't want to watch that."
Yep. At the end of the series, after he's fought Doomsday and Blue Beetle and Green Arrow
and Darkseid. And he doesn't even get his own suit. He's wearing Brandon Routh's fucking suit.
It's quite literally Superman in the 90s. That's all it is. It's Superman without Superman in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean,
here's the thing. I'm not saying it's the best Superman. I'm just saying I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I know.
Okay. Let's use the best thing about that show to springboard back into this movie now. Let's talk about Lex.
I love
him. Bro. Hater.
We're definitely going to see him in a war suit. Sorry, Buster.
I spent the whole trailer cycle going like, I don't know if I can buy him. I'm too used to him being Beast. I haven't seen him in much else. And then like after the first scene, I was just like, no, that's Lex Luthor. That's DCAU post-crisis businessman Lex Luthor on screen in live action. What the hell? Are you kidding me? This is happening?
Pure hater energy. Beautiful, perfect, wonderful.
And
I wish haters were this entertaining in real life.
They can be in some ways, but usually the haters we see modernly are bad haters, not true to form haters.
Yeah.
There's a whole different. There's like being petty.
No, we have exactly one hater that is this entertaining in real life. His name is Kendrick Lamar.
The entire Snyder Bro community wishes they had even an ounce of the charisma of this Lex.
Legit.
I'd want to say that they have more charisma their charisma compares more to like Guy Gardner, but I actually like Guy in this a lot, and I don't want that to be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call anybody. I wouldn't compare anybody to that. Unless I'm trying to disrespect them directly.
My favorite thing about this Lex is he is evil, vindictive, pure hater energy for Superman and other metahumans. But you actually see him dealing with his crew. Like, he's friendly when he's on a good mood. When he's not, he's the asshole boss we expect him to be.
Yeah, he's raging. He's like at the end of the movie, he's crying.
But like when everything's going right, he is complimenting his men. He's going like, "You're doing a good job. Great
he
work."
He looks genuinely concerned for the engineer when she starts getting her ass kicked.
Well, see, he's concerned for the engineer, but when I watched that scene, I did not read that as his concern for her life. That was his concern for like, I don't want to lose all the money I put into this.
Yeah.
I spent so much. Like, you aren't a person. Like, oh my God, are you okay? My investment?
Yeah, like an asset.
Can you still perform?
Yeah, can my asset make me money and do the things I want to do?
That's why I coach this, like, oh, he's so cool to his employees when he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time you see him on screen in the universe, he's calling out combo moves for Ultraman, and he's like rubbing the tech's shoulders.
Yeah, like, and like in those moments, you can totally see why his minions stick around. Like that's
That
always the
money.
big that
Real
money,
good bonuses. I bet there's real good bonuses.
but like you can always there's always that question of like, oh, why do the minions stick around for this thing? Is it an ideological cause? It's like no, they just genuinely when he's on a good day, they think Lex is a good boss. You know?
Yeah.
So
Which I think
what
is-
you're saying is when we get the Joker in this universe, his henchmen should actually find him funny.
Yes.
I think it
No,
should
they should be
he's-
terrified of him.
He
A
tells
little bit of
good
a column
joke,
A,
they
little-
genuinely laugh, and then he tells one of his Joker jokes, and then they laugh, and you can tell they're trying to keep their boss happy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or they just like laughing. Like that kind of rubs me the wrong way is this is too much like a comic book. It just kind of boils down to that. And I'm like,
There seems to be like a interesting division between people who do read comics who are just absolutely in love with this movie and people who just watch movies who are like, I mean, it's pretty good, but it's got a few issues here and there.
yeah.
You,
And like
I
I've been
think
seeing
the
so
one
many
thing
people complain about the pacing, and I'm like, no, what pacing? It's I mean,
What are you
I don't
talking
think-
about, bro? It has a clear 1 to 6 issue story arc.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
It's comic book paced.
Yeah.
I was going to say that it's kind of hard to remember and realize that there is a lot of people out there who are going to say they're fans. And I mean, because it's big enough that you can be. You can completely be a Superman fan, a Justice League fan. You could know everything about him and have never touched a comic book.
Yeah,
Not
you don't know,
everything
like-
about him, obviously, but like, you know, you could have watched like the cartoons growing up. You could have watched the most of
I
the
mean, it goes
Snyderverse
back
stuff.
to Superman is almost 90 years old as an intellectual property. And so much of what we think of as like indelible, entrenched concepts from the comics are things that other media introduce. Superman didn't fly until he was an animated character. He didn't
Yeah.
have a weakness until he was a radio character.
I thought he flew on black and white television, laying down in a box.
No, that
that
was,
was
that was the
that was
Fleischer
after-
cartoons.
Yeah, that was after Fleischer.
Fleischer cartoons were in the 40s.
Yeah, and the Mole Man was 50s. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I get why. Like, I mean, people are entitled to their own opinion. I just feel like there's kind of like a lost in translation with a lot of the critiques that would be like, you guys don't. I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Is that why it works so well? Because it predates the fucking Second World War.
Yeah,
The
Superman
Fleischer cartoon?
was.
Because like I shared something on Facebook where it was a picture of a newspaper article from fucking Nazi Germany saying that American Superman is poisoning the minds of the German children, and I just
Yep.
like shared that because
Okay.
of what it is.
I
That
have
was
a
a
whole
real
thing about
article
this.
written.
People have been going, we've had the obvious, like, you could see it a mile away, super woke conversation about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, if you know comics, Superman started as a champion of the oppressed. That was literally what he was called.
Almost
But-
every single superhero, also, by the way.
Even if you look at, like, pre-comic books, Superman was created by two non-practicing Jewish guys whose parents immigrated to the US and Canada during the time of the rise of the Nazis. Like, he is a very clear self-insert character about, like, this is what we wish we could be. We fled this persecution. Our homeland was destroyed, ostensibly, and now we are in this new world and we just want to do good.
Yeah. And like that, like and the like updating that with like the war conflict, which I know Gunn says it wasn't inspired by what's going on. I think some people have said it.
Gunn
it's
says, man, we ain't got to go there about this, but like I'm just saying, like
it's
No,
probably-
let's
he
get
has
to
to
the
say
point.
that.
He is
though.
covering his
He's
ass.
got
He
to
is
say
covering-
that. He
It's
absolutely,
PR
yeah,
speak.
absolutely.
Yeah,
He's
it's
got to
PR
say that.
speak.
But like
He's covering his ass. That's what he's doing.
my
Yeah.
brother,
And on that note, I think
We can
James
go
Gunn
back
is
and look
speaking.
at the articles and see that, like, yeah, he wrote it back during Russia-Ukraine, and they were shooting it when the Gaza stuff started up. But, like, just with the iconography and the casting-wise, you can't deny that it looks like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the guys wasn't like necessarily starting up. Like I
Yeah,
listen
you
to
know,
rap
two
songs from the
decades.
early '90s that talk about the shit like it's happening yesterday.
yeah,
and, like,
yeah,
I
okay, it's
keep
been a
I
thing
mean, like
snapping
the
like
my
since
neck.
current
the
Like,
50s.
understanding of it, the current flare up
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
Western
yeah.
culture.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, like the October 7th stuff.
yeah, and I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
feels so
believe me,
fucking
Cody. I
strong.
know.
I'm very pleased.
Yeah,
I
like
wish we
as
live in a world where he could come out and just be like, yeah, that's what it is.
yeah,
Don't be a piece of shit. But like, I know that he can't because of money, which is ugly. But
yeah. But it's all yeah, it's a whole thing where it's like yeah,
But
the
some
movie's not gonna save. Like someone put it best, the movie's not gonna save the world, but it can inspire us to like do better in our world. And like I mentioned this in like
Mhm.
my
Which is
video.
what these characters are fucking here for.
Yeah.
I've said this. I've said this in some ways, but a lot of sci-fi and fantasy is predicated on an idea of exploring a concept. Cyberpunk is technology in the future and integration and posthumanism and all that kind of stuff. Sci-fi in general is talking about technology and science and how humanity will interact with it. In that same vein, as a piece of genre fiction, superheroes are exploring morality and ethics. When you deal with that kind of stuff is when it's the most interesting. And sometimes that's simple. It's just like, hey, help people out. And sometimes it's really complex of like the moralities of Watchmen. But that's what superheroes are about. And people forget that and just go like, oh, it's big and punchy. And it's like, no, it's there it needs to have a core of a philosophy.
Yeah,
At
even
the
if the
center.
philosophy is flawed, it's still a philosophy. It's still a message, you know?
And I think proof that they realized that and understood that about this character, um, a good, strong, direct look at some evidence for that would be the squirrel scene and
Yeah.
the
People
amount of
keep
effort
talking.
and time they spent on that.
The amount of different takes I have seen on that scene are so interesting and fun. Like some people are like, "Oh, they played that for comedy." Some people are like, "Oh, that was glorious." Some people are like, "That was a waste of time. Why would he do that?" And it's
A
like,
waste of time. God
that's
damn it.
no. Like I'm saying, like that says something about everyone who sees this movie, what their reaction to it is, and we don't have to like come down on anyone. I just find it fascinating that like that has been such a flashpoint for everyone who sees that movie. Personally, I love it. You might think it's a waste of time, but it's just cool that we're at that point where we have this big tentpole Superman movie that everybody has a slightly different take on.
I guess for me, when I hear, allow me, let me explain my reaction to the waste of time comment because of what I understood that to be.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think that's people saying, or I didn't take it to be people saying it's a waste of time to do or to put in the movie. I take it as people saying it's a waste of time for Superman to save a squirrel. Like in the same way of like you walk a lizard outside or a spider, and it's like, why are you doing that? Why would you even bother? Who cares? It's just a bug. It's just a this. It's just something. And the
Yeah.
whole point is that, well, no, but you're supposed to actually the whole fucking time. The whole point is you're supposed to care about all of it. And Superman is usually the character in the comics that shows us that and is like grabbing us and being like, no, you fucker, you're supposed to. You're
I mean,
supposed to care about people
the
and
whole point
things.
of that scene is contrasting Superman with the greater superhero community, showing that like he cares about this kaiju as a living being. He's trying to figure out a way to help it without hurting anybody else. And the Justice Gang shows up and they're just like, "Oh, this is a problem. Let's kill it."
Yeah.
Also, we forgot to talk about one character. We'll talk about the Justice Gang, Metamorpho.
Oh, I
Well,
feel
we
like we
haven't talked
haven't
about the
gotten to.
Justice Gang. We talked about
Unsung
Mr.
hero.
Terrific.
Yeah, Metamorpho's great. I do like people were like Baby Joey got revealed like before the movie came out, and people were like, "Oh man, is he gonna be this comic relief baby?" I'm kind of sick of all these baby characters in media, and he's just like a regular ass baby. He's not really like a goofy odd baby. I mean, he is a
I
goofy odd
didn't
baby in
even
design.
I didn't even know until after I saw the movie that Metamorpho has a kid in the comics, so there's precedent for it.
It was
Yeah,
pre-crisis.
yeah. But like I mean I just like how the baby is just a baby and it's just there to show like to give metamorpho humanity and also just to show Superman saving babies, what a Superman should do.
And Metamorpho just has like this great thing that is here with a lot of minor characters in this movie, where you get like a scene that is focused on him and a lot of little bits scattered throughout the rest of the movie that just give you this perfect read on him. I don't need a Metamorpho movie. I know who he is, having seen him in the Superman movie, and I could see him in another movie as a supporting character, and I would be like, "Fuck yeah, it's Metamorpho, let's go!"
Yeah,
Real quick,
like you
Oh.
don't need to give everyone movies. Like they could just be like side characters and just like
Mhm.
in this bigger world, like a comic book.
Okay, Cody.
I do want to say that the scene, and the way they build the tension up whenever it's Metamorpho, and the kid is directly across the hall essentially. That scene, and like when he finally just snaps and is able to go over there, and that's the first fucking thing he does. Like it is an instantaneous like A-B, like 1-2 from where he is to saving baby. In importance, and like I don't know, just the way that they build up that tension and the way that like the payoff is immediate. Um, it really resonated with how I've always felt about Superman. Someone who could just essentially be like a quite literal and vulnerable shield. That so long as Superman is there, it is okay. And because Superman was there, the second Superman was allowed to like move, the baby was saved. The second he was free, the baby was okay. Like that's I just liked the transition to that, and they did a really good job at showing how charismatic and like
How
instantaneous
immediate he
can be.
cares.
Yeah.
I also just love like the way he moves in general in that scene, because that and the way he breaks Crypto out really shows like that this is a Superman that has kind of like I forget who
Speed
said
Force.
it for no
Oh.
I forget who said it first, but there's a take on like how Superman fights before he becomes really good friends with other heroes and starts learning how to actually fight, that got popularized in the last few years. And Boingo and I talked about at one point how good it is, which is that like Superman is incredibly strong. So he never really has to think about how to fight. Most of the time, he's just going to slam his body into stuff in order to stop it. And you see that all throughout this movie. Like, Lex is able to beat him so much because Lex has actually fought a lot about fighting moves that could counter the way Superman fights.
And
But
go ahead. No,
no, I had a thought,
No,
but it
you.
wasn't fully formed.
mine was a little disconnected. Form that thought. My Superman.
What I was about to say is I mentioned earlier that this movie is much more Superman versus the Elite, and I find it interesting that the engineer is here, which is she's from the Authority and they inspired the Elite, but how our version of the Elite, and because this is a very hopeful hope core movie, our version of the Elite is the Justice Gang, who goes like, you know what, Superman, you're right. We're gonna follow your lead, and that's the lesson, you know.
Do right over money.
Mm-hmm. I mean, people have said it before, but like, there's a metatextual read on this movie, which is it's a movie about an incredibly popular guy who gets canceled and then goes to his friends who are a bunch of misfits for help and is able to rise back to glory. And I actually just watched earlier today an interview with James Gunn where somebody brings that up to him and he's like, I literally didn't think about that until you said that, but you're probably right.
Like just the internal experience like influenced that.
But
But it's that superhero thing of he is offered the impossible choice during the third act. Do you go stop the war or do you go save your home city? And Superman's answer to it is, well, I ask my friends to do one while I do the other.
Yeah.
and you have like here's the thing, everyone's like worried about the movie being overstuffed with all these different characters. Every character kind of has an arc.
Yeah,
It's
or a point.
so well written.
Guys, Steve Lombard is in this movie and he has an arc.
Steve
Yeah,
has
Steve.
Lois has an arc.
Yo, we haven't talked about
Lois.
Not once.
We haven't talked about Lois.
Okay, fuck it. We're talking about Lois now. perfect casting, perfect writing from the moment she steps on screen. Brosnahan is the one person in this cast that I'm like, no, she supplanted my previous favorite interpretation. This might be a hot take to some people. I think she's a better Lois than Dana Delaney.
That's a hot take.
I like this one. She's like, this is, I think, I don't know. I'm slowing my fucking thoughts too much. She's a real like ass beater, and she reminds me a lot like of the animated series. Lois.
Yeah, that's Dana Delaney.
Oh.
Mhm.
Well, then there you go. Then never mind.
Sorry.
My favorite thing about this Lois, other than just being the only Lois thing we didn't get in the movie is her being a bad speller.
That, and now that you mention it, it would have been cool if they had changed that character that's always hanging around with Rick Flag to be Sam Lane, because she talks to him on the phone at one point.
That would be cool, but like the only thing that isn't like pitch perfect Lois that we didn't get is a running gag. That's fine, whatever. But I love just like it hits all the points. She is urban cynicism versus Clark's rural optimism. Setting up the thematic weight of the final song, the total theme of countercultural kindness, of all this different kinds of stuff, by bringing up the fact that she was a punk rock kid in a suburb of a fucking city, and how that colored her entire life.
And she's so guarded about their relationship. Like, she's the one who says, like, I didn't think this was going to work, and now we're having our first fight. And it's like, yeah, that's Lois. You don't get that in interpretations too often, but that's a very Lois thing to say.
Oh, speaking of the relationship, it's funny. Remember the opening crawl? It's always in things with 300 years, 30 years.
Yeah.
The one thing it didn't say was 3 months. We get the 3 months in the movie. That's how long they've been dating.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I wanted to say earlier about the crawl. It says 3 centuries ago, the first superpowered beings known as metahumans appeared on Earth. I am going to take a wild headcanon stab and say that's Vandal Savage. And Vandal Savage is the first big bad they're going to build towards.
I can see that.
I mean, all right. Like, as soon as I met this like Lex Luthor, I was like, yeah, this is Legion of Doom Luthor, without a doubt. Like, this feels exactly like that. He's going to do it perfectly. Like, you were saying that we got him out of the way. I'm like, no, we got him set up. Like, we got him there. We when we need him, and like he's always going to be like, that is absolutely the petty ass crazy Lex who's always going to be like fucking pulling strings behind the
I mean,
scenes.
I could see this Lex becoming president more than I could any other interpretation we've had on film, or in adaptations, I should say, which is crazy because there's already been 2 President Lexes in adaptations.
Yeah,
Did
they're like
Public Enemies had it? Like,
Yes.
I mean, there's that, but that's like a direct adaptation of a comic. I'm more talking general adaptations, like Smallville's Lex eventually becomes president, and it's so weird how they play it, because like it's an alternate timeline thing, and then in the main timeline he starts running, but like DCAU Lex almost became president.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of where I want to talk about next, because there's so many things I want to talk about. That's the thing. There's so much to go over.
We could probably
I mean, I can just throw out a little thing that made me fanboy out in the theater, which is the suicide slums are in this movie. How crazy is that?
I don't know what that is.
That's like the bad neighborhood in Metropolis. It's like the crime alley of Metropolis. It's where Intergang usually hangs out, and like in the scene where Lex goes to talk to Eve, they don't say it, but that is very clearly the suicide slums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if we can't like
Dude,
fit
if
all
we
our
get
thoughts
Intergang-
into, if we can't fit all our thoughts into this one, like
Actual Intergang in this universe, as opposed to the shitty Black Adam Intergang.
Fucking crime Bible up in this bitch,
guys. What if the villain of the next movie is Bruno Mannheim?
Bruno Mars.
I would fucking Bruno Mannheim would be amazing. Real quick, I think a couple things I want to just say before we forget them, because we've been hopping all over the place.
Mhm.
Great parry.
Yeah.
Love the
He
parry.
gets so little, but he's so perfect.
Guy Gardner. Just pitch perfect guy. I want Batman to punch him so hard.
I love the little detail of, as opposed to them manifesting out of nowhere like they do in the Ryan Reynolds film, there's like little energy tethers coming from his ring to the constructs in this. That's so smart.
And just his
Real
effects
quick,
look
real
great. His
fucking quick.
constructs, is it,
Sorry,
no, his
Buster. Go ahead.
constructs look great. Like I just like the green. Like all like he gets
I
pretty
love how
creative with
solid it
them.
feels.
Yeah.
I want to fucking go because I've loved Green Lantern for so goddamn long. I've always loved the idea of the fucking rings. John Stewart's my favorite, but like
I mean, he's gonna be on the
our
Lantern show.
our
He's the main
showing,
character of the Lantern show, apparently.
yeah, our showing opened up with like uh one of those like movie interview things talking about it, but it was like two random people.
Influencers.
One of them was an influencer who was who's like the come here guy, where he's like always like in the mirror and he's like, if you want to know where something's from or something like that, he's like, no, I figured out where it is. Come here, and like it's that guy. But he goes like he makes this little like statement about the lantern ring. And he's like, yeah, I'm really interested to see how different the lantern rings are going to be, because we've always seen them only be a stream of light, and he uses it in this one where it's not directly coming off of the ring. And I'm like, motherfucker, there are comics going back in time showing both things simultaneously. It doesn't matter. That is the dumbest shit of all like comic book shit to be like, it's something. He used this 5 minutes to say this in front of a whole fucking movie I was about to watch. As if it was anything at all in the movie. And it's like, it's so fucking not. Like, obviously that influencer has already, like, seen it or something. I mean, maybe not. He said he'd be interested to see, but, like, I don't know. Like, anyways, to not side rant about that too longer.
Fuck that guy in particular is what you want to say.
Guy Gardner's general arc is fantastic. He's kind of like he's like that general asshole, but then it's how he comes around at the very end and how he shows up, and just the scenes, the imagery of the giant green middle fingers flipping tanks. I couldn't be more pleased.
Mhm.
I could not be more pleased.
Altogether, just great, wonderful, amazing guy.
We haven't
He does
talked
use
about
a wiffle
Hawkgirl
bat.
at all.
I figured we
He's
would
one
get
of the
to her next.
Yeah, has one of the, I wouldn't say weaker characters, because it is a good, solid character. She does play it really well, but she has a lot less to do.
Yeah, I mean, she at least gets the major action beat, like the biggest, like, whoa, like, cool part of the movie,
She gets to kill Putin Yahoo!
Yeah.
And apparently Gunn has said like there are extensive plans for her going forward, and
Nice.
they're specifically doing an amalgamation of she is named Kendra Saunders. She's going to have the reincarnation thing, but they also want to do a little bit of the Shira Hall stuff people know from the animated show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see more of her.
Mm-hmm. And apparently she said in interviews like, no, I want to do a scene with Aaron Pierre as fucking Jon Stewart as soon as possible.
Nice.
Damn. Easy. Thank God, I guess.
Easy.
I mean, she's the one who had all the lines
on-screen
that alluded to
chemistry
sex
is what
in
we
the
need.
animated series. But no, she's good. She gets like the least out of any supporting character, I would say, in the movie, except for maybe Cat Grant and Ron Troop. But she still gets like a little bit of an arc. You get a feel for who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Visually, the movie looks great.
Yeah, I don't know why people are saying it's ugly. I think people just don't know what movies look like.
I think that's
I think people haven't seen
Snyder
Thor
people
long enough.
Yeah, that's got to be like, I've been playing Battlefield 3 and all the fucking like early 2010 bullshits where everything was lens flares and gray, dude. I just got hot off of Fallout 3 where it was gray and green and not a good shade of green.
No,
this movie's ugly because everything stands out.
I think the only thing that you could say is a legitimate possible criticism is because of the fact that you use a super ton of wide angle lenses, that sometimes the edges are a little bit more distorted than one might like.
It's still
Yeah,
like passable.
there was
It
that
still looks
scene where,
a
like,
big
uh,
budget
It still
movie.
looks good. I think it looks good. I'm
Yeah.
saying that
Yeah.
as like a devil advocate
Yeah,
critique.
Well, no, there's a part where like Superman's like walking left to right, um, in the Fortress of Solitude, and like he turns, and like when his foot kind of turns to the left, it like warps a little bit. Maybe it could be fake, but like I saw like a couple
Could have
clips of
just
it.
been your screen.
No. I was watching a video of people pointing it out,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
like one or two of people pointing it out.
But I think, at least as far as I can tell, there's three things with this movie we really haven't touched on yet. And I want to start with probably the least of them, or I guess depending on how you looked at it, the most of them, because it's an overarching thing. But it's something that I have maybe a hot take on. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked too much into this side of the conversation. Musically, I think this is James Gunn's strongest movie ever.
true. I
I
mean,
can
one
see
of
that.
yeah, because the needle drops are very specific, but even
They're
there's less of
restrained, and when they come, they feel like a punch in the face in
yeah,
a good
like
way.
what they should be. Yeah, well, like a needle drop, you know.
Mhm.
I mean,
There's
The-
2 needle drops. Is that? That's it. It's 2.
Yeah, and it's like the
And,
actual like score
like,
that
is
is
like
so
really
much
good.
tougher for me to try to agree with because of how much I like have loved the use of music in all of the movies so far
And
that I've
I
seen
think
of Gunn.
it's
I mean, that's fair, but also like I think he takes that because apparently, like from the moment the script was finished, he was working on the score with John Murphy collaboratively, and I
yeah,
think like he takes that sensibility of we're going to use popular music to tell the story, and he employs it in the score through deconstructing and reconstructing the Williams theme because when I first saw this movie, I thought this movie relied on the Williams theme way too much. Like originally I was going to say I feel like it feels like one of his weaker movies because of that. But after seeing it a second time and listening to the score on its own in between, I'm like, no, the Williams theme is there in almost every track, but it feels like a refrain you would get in any other score. And it feels earned whenever it actually pops to the forefront in the movie.
yeah. And I'm like, I think it's like it's a different use of music than like what we're normally used to from like a James Gunn movie, and I think that fits Superman. That like fits like he, you know, like if it like those needle drop the extensive needle drops fits the Guardians, it fits the Suicide Squad, and like and like heck, even like besides the punk rocker one, which was built up to like previously in the movie, the needle drops are usually for like other characters. Like Mr. Terrific gets a needle drop, like which
And
is like this is
that's the thing is like I love that neither of those songs are songs that like if you're like me, if you're a guy who just occasionally listens to the radio and just listens to songs you like, you don't follow bands super close or listen to whole albums very often. Those aren't songs you know. Those are songs you're going to discover through this movie and will now love. Like I've actually been listening to the Mr. Terrific song. The name is escaping me at the moment, but I've been listening to that all week.
yeah.
James Gunn put a lot of time, and it really does feel like put a lot of time into. And I hate to bring up Spotify because of the current Spotify bullshit with the
No, the
owner of
Spotify
that.
playlist. Yeah, I
But-
got a good chuckle out of some of those picks.
Not even just chuckles though. Like for one, there's just the whole thing where you can go and look at the Superman playlist, and based off of your Spotify liked music, it's gonna recommend you like the most current or the essentially it's gonna say like what is closest to your general taste of music. You'll be matched to like a Superman playlist because they made one for every character in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna be incredibly biased on it because I got my favorite character, Mr. Terrific, immediately, and I felt really great about it. I do feel really great about that. But it is like I listened to the rest of them. I went out of my way to listen to the rest of them and went back to it's a bunch of math rock and stuff like that too. So I know Chris would love the Mr. Terrific.
Yeah,
like-
see, I got the engineer, which is all like industrial and
Yeah.
9 Inch Nails.
There's an MF Doom song on the Mr. Terrific theme.
Yes, it has
Nice.
a fucking MF Doom song. Mr. Terrific is essentially Black DC Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And James Gunn said that he put that on there because he felt that Mr. Terrific would have listened to it when he was younger and
Oh.
still resonated with it in a nostalgic sort of way. and that's why he put the MF Doom song in there. But he
That's-
said that he put a lot of like very complex songs for him. He did a little like intro in for each character.
Oh.
But what I was gonna say is like I don't know. I do know actually anyway, or to get in front of myself. But I was gonna say that I wasn't sure on like which pivotal moment felt stronger to me, like the use of punk rocker here or the way that Break the Chain hits in is that Guardians 3 whenever Chris P. Rat, who I hate, is like fighting his dad.
Guardians
Yeah.
2,
Guardians
Guardians
2,
2,
but
Guardians
yeah.
2, yeah.
The Break the Chain used in that is like I've always loved that song, and like that is such a good fucking needle drop to where like it really like makes you like lean forward, like you get your body into it. It really pulls you. Punk rocker felt like, for one, it's good to see that song get like a beautiful like breath of fresh air. But like that fucking song fits this so much more, I think. Mainly because it's hopium, but like also because of just how well it fits the message and how well it carries it. I think I do one agree with what you were saying earlier, but two, I do think now it is better. While I just really like that punchiness of the needle drop for Break the Chain because of what they're dealing with there. I think I truthfully like the getting out of aggression there because of like him just like letting loose, and that's when the needle drop hits versus here where punk rocker is essentially like not even a celebration but like a realization for the audience and the character. I think it's better.
Yeah, just shit hit. Like that what a
All that
wonderful
to
way
say,
to
I
end
agree.
this. What a wonderful way to end the movie, just with that song and like the scene where it's
it
like you
just
see-
also feels so hopeful and anthemic.
Yeah, and like they built up to it, like with the discussion with Lois, like before he goes to save Crypto.
Also, I meant to ask about it earlier, but I have to get it in there. Cody, how happy are you that Superman's favorite band is called the Mighty Crab Choice?
It's funny, and for a sec, like I thought it was made up for this because I had never heard.
It
I was
is.
just like, oh, so it is legitimately made up for this.
Yeah, but here's the fun thing about it is
Where did they get?
it is Gunn's high school band with a new singer. Because he was the singer of that band, but he thinks he's a terrible singer.
That's funny.
And
That's
by the
Okay,
way,
so they did a
that
song
band
for
also
it.
got referenced because that band was called the Pods, and Clark, when naming bands, said the PODs.
That's
Okay.
that cute Easter egg. There.
Well, I do appreciate it because it felt like I specifically that scene where she sees it and like
Yeah, and it's
she
like she's
comments
seeing
on that
him for the
earlier.
first time.
Yeah, she thinks that he just like kind of likes some music and isn't really about that. But then when she's walking through his own like room and seeing his original life, that's when she realizes he's not a fucking alien. Even though he is, he's not. And
Well,
that's
no,
like the
I read that scene, that moment with her dismissing his like of them, being like, she thinks he just pulled a name that he happened to have heard before as a punk band, and then in that moment she sees the poster and she's like, oh no, he really likes them. He's probably been to their concerts.
But it's also just kind of like, to me, there's also like an understanding of, she was in a punk scene. She was in a major metro area. She could go to shows all the time. So of course she's gonna be weird and gatekeepy about it. But he lived in the middle of fucking Kansas. Ain't no punk shows out there. Of course your favorite punk band is Green Day.
that's Maddie, dude. That's so funny. That's how Maddie was. That's how Maddie is. That's funny.
Oh my
What do you
God.
Maddie was
mean?
literally involved in the punk scene in like Portland, and then came back to South Georgia and just has to deal with me and my music taste coming from a fucking Florida nothing town of Hickory.
Oh yeah, where we unironically listen to Limp Bizkit sometimes.
Sometimes,
Oh.
yes.
But we've been dancing. Okay, go ahead, finish your thought, Boingo.
No, I was just saying it is pure junk food, and you only eat it when you want to feel like trash. That's what you do when you listen to Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
But we've been dancing around them all night. Let's talk about the Kents.
They're great.
They feel like good, actual, wholesome Americana folk.
In a movie full of like versions of characters that I'm like, oh, finally we're getting this version that's always existed in my head on screen. They feel like a wholly fresh take, but in a great way. Because the Kents are often portrayed as like these classically handsome, towering figures of Americana and wisdom. And not that they're not that in here, but they're a much more down to earth, realistic take on that. Pa Kent doesn't look like an aging actor who 30 years ago could have played Superman. He looks like your best friend's dad.
Yeah, and dude, the
The scene
father
where, like,
he delivers,
oh yeah,
the way he is a dad in this film, I think is going to do so much more for like so many people watching it.
The fact that he has to dance around it and like do a little story about something he's been up to before actually dispensing the wisdom, that's such a real dad thing.
yeah.
Legitimately, these two people feel like you would run into them in a Walmart, you would actually accidentally bump your carts, and you would have the nicest, most pleasant conversation you would have all week.
Yeah, like the scene where like the Ma was like talking on the phone, where it's just very like she doesn't quite know how to use it. That was so real. That was like so real.
They play those actors, they play those characters so well. I 100% believe that is the reason. Like that is who would have to create Superman. You would have to be those two incredibly nice individuals, incredibly wholesome, to create the most wholesomest. You know, like that's how you get that. That is A and B to the C equation there.
Yep. Another thing I want to mention, because this has been in my thoughts. Hey, we did get a shout out to Gotham when the whole evacuation
It's an exit ramp.
It's an exit ramp. So yeah, Gotham is across the bay, because if you go by certain maps, Metropolis is in Delaware, and across the bay in South Jersey is Gotham.
Mm-hmm. Which is another thing about this movie is I don't think we've ever really had Metropolis depicted as a coastal city until now. Like there's that island fight at the end of BVS, but like even then, that's more like we have to contrive a way for them not to like, get civilians in danger. This is like no, there's a whole fight scene on a beach.
I'm not gonna be that guy about this, but everything I've interacted with Metropolis through video games or like media has always shown some sort of water near it. And even in like DC Universe Online, Metropolis does have a beach.
See, I haven't played a lot of DC games outside of the Arkham games. So.
I'm just saying, like, that game is old as fuck. That game is like old as sin. That game came out on... You had to buy a subscription for that game to play it on the PlayStation 3.
And yet it's still running. It's still up.
I don't know how. I've played the start of that game more than I've played any start of any other video game, including like Fallout and Skyrim.
Like conspiracy theory, I think it's just because it's dirt cheap. It looks like dirt cheap to make at this point.
Right.
Like
well, they've kept it alive and gave it some like polishing every now and then. But like ultimately, it's kind of like the best place to go if you're a DC fan and you want to like
just like explore the locations.
Yeah, because you get to do a bunch of fun stuff with it. We ain't talking about that for this. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think you might not realize it, but there's been plenty of scenes that you might be able to recall where like Aquaman shows up to help Metropolis with like some fucking sea creatures, and they have to cross the beach first. Like it's been
Probably.
There a lot. I think.
But I think of that as like a comic thing. I haven't seen like a lot of shows that are shows or movies that are very clearly like. Nope, there's people in Metropolis who take day trips to the beach.
I can think of a few of the recent like DC animated universe scenes where like they're fighting and stuff like that, and there's like harbors and bays and beaches and stuff like that. The one where fucking Parasite gets to the size of like a goddamn like kaiju.
Oh, you're talking about My Adventures?
Is that My Adventures? That's the first
I think
bit of that?
Isn't that like the season finale of My Adventures, season 1?
Let me check. It's been a bit.
But
Because you're right.
there's
And
also
My
a lot of
Adventures'
water and
first
stuff.
episode is about like them dealing with stuffing at the harbor.
Yeah,
I
that
guess
was
it's
Max.
just like
Max. It was Max
I
at
think
the harbor.
I think of Metropolis as a harbor city. I don't think of it as a beach city. Is what I'm saying. I guess.
If there's a harbor, there's a beach nearby.
True.
Unless it's a really dirty ass harbor.
Yep.
Unless it's New York City or New Jersey.
New
No,
York
I don't
City.
think
Man,
My
with-
Adventures had any like it was mostly mechs to start with. I think Kaiju's might have been season 2. It's been a bit since I've seen it. Please correct me in the comments.
But
It was
like-
specifically that Parasite like powered up to the size of a monster.
Yeah, but like speaking of the harbor, for
That
how
was like
much
the
they squeezed
mid-season.
into
That was
this
like
movie,
mid-season. I remember that was mid-season. Anyway, continue.
for how much they squeezed into this movie, I'm surprised we didn't get a Bibbo at all.
yeah,
Bibbo.
I would love to see a Bilbo Babowski.
Bibbo is Superman's biggest in-universe fan. He starts out as like a harbor worker, and eventually he gets a
yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah, man, we will get him. I feel like James Gunn like has a plan for that character. Without a doubt.
Oh, I know who he's gonna cast too.
Ooh.
He's gonna cast. Oh, I can't. Oh, I just remembered his name. He's gonna cast Michael Rook.
I
I
mean, he
can see
is in
that.
this movie as a voice, so
Yeah.
wanted to play ball.
But the reason I wanted to bring up Gotham is there's the continued discussion of, oh, are we gonna get a brand new Batman, or should they just fold in Pattinson?
I mean that discussion keeps happening online, even with how clear Gunn has been about it. And I feel like because of that, I'm going to be half expecting a post-credit scene in the Batman Part 2 that features Superman. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be mad about it, because I also am really excited about like we're going to get a light. They keep saying we want to do a lighter take of Batman in the main universe that heavily features the Bat family, and like thank God.
Yeah, I think both can coexist. Like people will like, who cares about universe confusion? Batman prints money, you know.
I
Well,
think
here's
it's
the
also
thing.
like they need to have a clearer delineation in the actual movies, because
We-
that too.
We
we've
grew up
talked
with
about
like 19
before.
different Batmans simultaneously. Like I think we'll be all right.
That's true, but like people are always so overly concerned about general audiences. And I said this back in the day on No Prize. This movie, it starts with a DC Studios logo. There should be like an additional animation at the end of it, depending on the movie, that like the logo moves up a little bit, and then either the word universe fades in or the word Elseworlds fades in. Just so you know, like this is part of the main universe. This is its own thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, here's the thing. Here's my pitch for to do it a little different. Instead of doing Superman, you have it be Gotham by Gaslight Batman, because he was the first Elseworlds comic.
Nah, I don't want. I don't know what you mean. I don't understand.
Okay,
I don't-
okay. You know how in the intro for DC Studios, it had the little animation of Superman breaking the chains, and it said DC. Instead of the Superman, it's Batman from Gotham by Gaslight, because he's the first
okay.
Elseworld.
That's what you. I thought you were saying something completely different. I
Make
understand.
a
that.
No.
movie.
It's
I get you.
no, just in the little intro thing. But the reason I brought up Gotham, I already did that segue. I think it has to be Pattinson.
They just it's just like they would. I don't know.
I think
they-
it has to be, because let me ask you this: what was the theme of this Superman movie?
Hope.
It was hope. It was how hope is kind, hope saves, hope does all this kind of things. What was the theme of the Batman?
Realizing
God.
that vengeance is not the path, but hope is.
Oh, you're telling me that both these movies are thematically based around hope, and how fundamentally Superman is a guy who can lead people to become more hopeful and more optimistic, with Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, Metamorpho, and Mr. Terrific as counterpoints, you know? You mean the cynic, Guy Gardner, who sees the worst in everything? The
I
one
mean,
who's quick to violence, Hawk Girl, you know, who really would rather just punch the problem away? You mean the super intelligent Mr. Terrific? Almost as if he's like some kind of detective?
I mean, here's the thing. We know as comic book fans that Batman stories can be vastly grittier in tone than the rest of the DC universe. So it's fine to have a Batman that's like that and then have him be lighter in the rest of the universe. So metatextually, like the precedent is there, But also, there's no reason you can't put a focus on the Bat family as those movies go on. There's nothing in those movies that really precludes it. And Reeves and Pattinson have both said they're open to having Robin in a future movie. Pattinson has even said if they do Robin, he wants it to be Dick Grayson and he wants him to be 12 years old.
What I would like to say is a lot of times, and I have my own opinion about Pattinson in this universe, because I feel like first I wanted to say or before I saw the movie, I was thinking that I wouldn't know how a Batman who would be the Batman who takes on who's throwing batarangs at Darkseid just to distract him while the heavy hitters are actually delivering the punching blows, and you always see Batman dancing around these people who, if they actually land a single hit, he's fucking disintegrated and dead, but he'll still jump in and again throw another batarang at someone's face and stab it into the back of their neck or something. I didn't know if I could see Pattinson doing that, or if I could see that fitting into this. But after seeing it, for one, I know what Batman would look like in this universe. It would look a lot like the Mr. Terrific scene, less flash and flare and more precision, but it would be the same kind of vibe. That whole scene played out like a Arkham Asylum. You just walked into a room and now there's 30 guys in there, and you're gonna spend the next 15 minutes comboing the fuck out of them until you're done, and you're probably gonna have a lot of fun doing that. That is how that Batman's gonna look. I think Pattinson could fit into this universe because it is not a purely hopeful thing, and while there is a lot of things that are brightly colored and kind of feel like it's safety bumper style stuff, Pattinson fits in this universe in the same way that the shot into the side of the falafel guy's head fit into this universe. A very sudden, sharp injection of reality and volatility. And I think that's where the Pattinson could fit into this.
That's the other thing, though, right? Is standing next to all these other characters that we see in this movie, Pattinson is going to look like the weird emo kid, which is kind of what you want from Batman in a DC greater universe thing.
I think a lot of times, or a lot of people are probably thinking about the fact that they always think of Batman delivering this very you think of Bruce Timm, you think of that voice,
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy, yeah.
Yeah, and Pattinson is really good,
but he's also very soft spoken. He doesn't have a lot of lines. He doesn't speechify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
but that doesn't mean that
I'm open to either or. I think either or could work. I just Here's
the thing. My little conspiracy brain is okay, Matt Reeves just fucking put in the script for the Batman 2.
Yeah, part 2. Yeah.
Okay. Only just now? You mean you had that much writer's block, my dude? Really? You wrote the Penguin real quick.
And the Penguin was unproduced at the same time as the Batman, so.
Well, and here's the big thing for me though, as a DC as a DC first guy. Well, okay. Obviously Transformers is always going to be my first love, but when it comes to comics, DC is my first love. I'm less concerned with how Batman is going to fit into this universe. I'm more concerned with Wonder Woman.
That's fair.
Yeah, we know how to do Batman on film right. We know how to put Batman with other characters in other media right. Wonder Woman is something that even within comics people have historically struggled with. And we've with the
fast tracking one.
They're fast tracking it. But I assume they're still keeping to the finish the script first rule. And I have a couple of big things with what I'd want to see with a new take on Wonder Woman in live action. Because it's so close to the Gal Gadot movies, for the love of God, do not do badass warrior, I'm going to kill you Wonder Woman again. Give me the Wonder Woman who reforms all of her villains. Give me the Wonder Woman who believes in lifting people's burdens. Give me a
Bro, you want the hopeful version of the character in the hopeful universe?
Yes!
I don't know about that, man. I don't think so, dude.
It sounds audacious, but here's the thing. Gal Gadot has left such a mark in the general public of what Wonder Woman is that I am genuinely a little concerned about it. Also, just from a pure casting thing, it feels like since this movie has come out, every couple of days there's been a new rumor about like this actress from this thing will be Wonder Woman, and none of them have been of Mediterranean descent at all. And I'm like, have you seen the lore of that character? You kind of have to do that, and they didn't do that with the Snyderverse. They cast somebody who was problematic in her background and was also just a terrible actor. So maybe we correct that completely, please and thank you.
Maybe.
There's just so much to say, so much to think about.
I mean,
So
we haven't even
She
talked
better
about
be
the
bigger
main
than
Vulcan.
Superman. Whoever it
Yeah.
is, she better be buff.
Yes.
Make her buff. If she's not tall, give her lifts. Fucking
Make her unapologetically fucking strong. That's what I want to see. For no reason.
Man, half of this podcast has just been us speculating about the future.
It really has.
True. But
Almost
that's the
like
thing.
we're
Why
all-
is
we're-
this movie is so exciting?
Buster, we've been poisoned by hope, and well, it doesn't negate it, but it sure is nice to like at least have something new and fresh.
Yeah, it's new, fresh,
I don't wanna-
exciting.
if I-
I get you.
If I bring
get
it back
you.
to
It's
that,
also
I'll
just
just
like,
fucking crash.
no,
We've
it's also just like we've been like as in this movie franchise, we've been trained to be like, okay, what's next after we see like what a
Well,
success, you know?
This movie being good has made us so excited for the future. We haven't even talked about the big general marketing thing with this movie.
Look
We
up.
haven't talked about crypto.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I feel like I say that every time we mention an aspect of this movie. Yeah, it's great because it is.
Yeah, no.
Crypto has done really well.
Yeah. I know there's like, it was a debate from the jump as soon as we saw him of like, oh, Gunn just 3D scanned his dog and he's inserting it with blah, 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 blah. Crypto should be this breed. Crypto has been like a different breed every time he's appeared in comics in every different era. It just depends on the artist. So to have him be this cute, scruffy little dog that's based on James Gunn's actual dog, I think that's perfectly fine. And it works for this version where he's unruly because it's said at the end of the movie, and perfect example of setup and payoff. There's so many like great just movie structural things in here of like there's some really good match cuts, there's some really good setup and payoff, and one of them is Clark says he's just taking care of Crypto. He says it's a foster situation, and at the end of the movie we find out, oh, he's Kara's dog, and Kara's a fucking mess, so of course she didn't raise him right.
Yeah, the literal scene where like she's bouncing on him, or he's bouncing on him.
Like
she may be a white woman, but I don't think she's that kind of white woman.
No,
No,
don't bring it there. No. God.
anyway,
Crypto is treating her like a chew toy.
yeah, it's great. Yeah, just
like
the little like how they contextualize crypto, like by
cracking like the concrete and stuff like that. Well, I guess it's not concrete. It's like the stone, actual just regular stone, because it's the Fortress of Solitude. They're breaking the ground. It's breaking the ground.
Yeah,
cracking.
It's just so. I am at
It
all.
also
It's just
just
like
gives
how
Superman
fun
like a nice motivation, like an extra just an extra like family motivation to like saving Crypto in the movie, where it's like it's not just my dog, it's her dog, and she's gonna kill me.
The fact that like Boingo, you keep talking about like, oh, you're just in awe of like the general goodness of this movie. It has to be said, the fact that we're one movie into this new universe and it's so good that I felt comfortable sending you the on your left gif in reference to the fact that DC's finally gaining ground on Marvel in live action. Like, holy goddamn shit, we are living in that time finally.
Oh yeah,
Like
and
I love a
Marvel's-
couple
Marvel
DC
in general, the franchise always does its best when DC is doing something really cool, and it's like, oh, fuck you, we're gonna do better.
Yeah, and I liked a couple DCEU movies, but those were really the ones where they just didn't know what they were doing, like the Shazam or Blue Beetles of like, oh yeah, that one-off thing was pretty good, but the rest like surrounding, like that wasn't really great. You know?
There's things to like about the main movies in that universe, but there's no movie that is just like outright you can say I really liked that.
Yeah, or felt like a full-on like, yeah, this is a great wide appeal DC movie. And this is the wide appeal DC movie they needed. Like, it's making a lot of money, it's got people talking.
I mean, it's Superman.
Yeah,
It's as Superman as it absolutely needed to be.
yeah. It's
Superman is supposed to be one of the most
Yeah.
like widely like loved.
Yeah, it just feels like he hasn't been like both because of Man of Steel
He
and
hasn't.
just like I'm sorry to bring up Snyder, but the Snyder movie, and I was like, no,
No, it
nothing
was
I
gonna
was
happen.
no, listen. I was so upset whenever Henry Cavill snapped Zod's neck. I remember like being genuinely upset in the theater, and I don't really have an issue with Superman doing stuff like that from time to time.
No,
I mean, here's
my
the thing:
with
he
that. They
killed
never
Bizarro.
really-
He attempted to kill Bizarro in this movie.
Yeah, but
it's like my thing about that in the kill is that they never really dwell or like they really like.
Okay. I have thought about this extensively because it has been a topic of conversation I've seen in a couple of other people's reviews. People seem to have forgotten, like, there is a fundamental difference between the way he's fighting Bizarro and almost kills him in this movie and the way he does actually kill Zod in Man of Steel.
True.
The reason the Man of Steel kill doesn't work is because it's played like he has no choice. But if you're paying attention in that scene, he literally could have stopped those people from getting hurt by Zod any other way. He could have literally just grabbed Zod and flown straight up and continued the fight.
He could have done so many different Superman things there. He could have like fucking super breath the fucking laser beam the
even then,
ceiling
like, I don't
down like
mind-
a
and it's-
million things.
I just
And
feel
the
like they
thing
don't
is,
go. I
it's-
just don't feel like they go into the consequences like that well because the movie's already over.
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the other thing is like he does it. He immediately cries and shoves his face in Lois's tits, and then it smash cuts to him taunting the military, and then the movie's over. Like there's no actual discussion of the consequences of that. We get into the consequences of the destruction of Metropolis and BVS, but we don't deal with the death of Zod. In this movie, he is in like a struggle, a heat of battle, fight to the death with Bizarro, Ultraman, whatever you want to call him. And he's thinking of it as like, I just got to incapacitate this guy for long enough that I can stop what Lex is doing that's threatening the entire world. Not just a couple people, the entire world is at stake right now.
Yeah.
And he thinks like, okay, I've incapacitated him, I'm going to leave. And then the camera pans around and no, he's falling into a black hole. Superman did not kill that guy. He just didn't have the time to save him in that moment. And that's probably something he's going to beat himself up about until he winds up on Bizarro World.
Yeah,
Because he even tries to talk to him after he thinks he like knocks off the fucking coding for a little while.
He
Yeah,
Until
says
he starts
sorry, chum, when they start fighting after the cameras are destroyed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that went hard.
But like, I mean, just literally, dude. Like, they.
Great movie.
It's the difference in weight and the difference in scale. Because like, we have seen Superman be put to that point, and like we've seen him like take the gloves off and stuff like that. But it's always felt like the stakes are there. In this in the Cavill situation, it doesn't feel like the stakes are there at all. Not only because of what we pointed out, but because it's like it's just Zod. He just fucking does it. It's just like, this guy's crazy, dude. We gotta fucking get him. There's nothing we could do. Sorry. And like that just doesn't feel like a Superman thing. But here in this movie, yes, I do. And I think that Superman could. I think we could even get like how we see Superman go crazy and like. Is that the elite or whatever, the crazy like Union Jack looking dude, the
that's the
UK guy
Elite.
and the
Manchester Black, yeah, that's the
yeah.
Yeah, the Elite. That's a great movie. It's on free on
I-
YouTube right now. Like if you're jazzed about Superman, go watch that.
And the comic story is called "What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, in the American Way."
Action Comics 1015. If you were wondering.
No, 775.
775. Why did I think 1015?
I don't know.
I don't know.
One Piece. I was thinking One Piece. My bad.
The One Piece is real.
You know what? Fuck it. I want the Creeper in this universe. Give us the Creeper.
Oh my god.
From Scooby Doo.
From
Oh,
Minecraft.
that's another like minor thing. I've seen people like kind of not like getting wrong, but just like wondering. There's an extra guy in the Terrific ship with the Daily Planet in the third act, and people are like, "Who is that guy? He doesn't say anything. He's just there." And people were theorizing that it's Jack Ryder. On my second viewing, I caught Perry does actually say his name. It's Ron Troop, who is another recurring Daily Planet character.
And honestly, he's there to make the Steve joke work.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not there to be like a setup or anything. He's there to go like, oh, Perry cares about his employees, but he forgets Steve because he's a kind of a dickhead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Steve's like the last minute addition.
Yeah, he even got his own poster.
Man. There's so much of this movie we didn't talk about. You should probably.
We
go
could
watch
probably
it to
talk.
see it.
Yeah, we could probably.
Go
We'll
watch
probably talk
the
bits
movie.
and pieces here
We've
and there
also
throughout
talked
the
for
next
the
few
length
months.
of the movie now, at least
Yeah.
the
Oh,
actual
don't tell
time
me
we've
that.
been recording.
And we still have some more things we need to mention.
What are
Because
we gonna
Marvel has been, Kevin Feige has been, I wouldn't say putting out fires, but been
do?
going like,
Making
hey,
fires?
Kevin Feige did a big roundtable to like hype up Fantastic Four, and he ended up dropping a whole bunch of other production and lore tidbits for upcoming shit. And I guess we're just gonna get into that, huh?
Also, I want to mention real quick, James Gunn had said Kevin Feige sent him a message saying he loved the movie, and people were going like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, no, they're friends.
Yeah,
DC and Marvel don't
we
hate
knew
each
this,
other.
We knew this from like
Kevin Feige literally told James Gunn to take the job when he said he had been offered it. Because James Gunn has also been like detailing the story more in his interviews for this movie. What had happened was they originally offered him Superman at DC after he was fired from Guardians, and he was like, I don't know. And then they were like, well, what we really need is a Suicide Squad sequel. And he was like, that I could do. And then like a couple weeks later, he got rehired, and he was like, hey, I just signed on to do Suicide Squad. We're gonna have to wait an extra year. And then as they were like doing pre-production for Guardians, he got offered the job, and he went to Kevin Feige and he was like, hey, I think this might be my last thing. And Kevin Feige was like, that's great. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. And it's like well, we can say a lot about Feige, but he does seem like on the chiller end of creative businessmen in Hollywood right now.
I think I figured out what Kevin Feige is. Kevin Feige very much is the Jim Shooter for the MCU.
Very much
Yeah.
so. Yeah, where it's like hot and cold.
But here's the thing. You have a bare minimum consistency. Like, nothing is shit. Nothing's shit. But it may not be great.
Yeah, like at worst you'll get a 4 out of 10. At most you'll get a 7 out of 10, you know?
Okay, so should I just say what all these things are that he said rapid fire, or do we want to go point by point?
I don't know what you're even about to talk about, so just go. Rapid fire is probably the best.
And then we can just pick and choose.
All right, so I'm pulling these things that I'm going to read exactly from Culture Crave on Bluesky, but they're essentially just snippets of what he actually said. So at a round table for Deadline to promote Fantastic Four, he said, Avengers Secret Wars is planned to reset to a singular timeline, an actual reboot of the MCU. They are not allowed to use Miles Morales in the MCU yet. We've been told to stay away. He does think they will eventually recast Iron Man and Captain America. There's his exact quote was, they're searching for a new James Bond right now. David Cornsweet is the new Superman. He was awesome. Things like this will always be the case. He confirmed Punisher is going to be in Brand New Day. He said they are still working on Blade. It is now planned to be a modern day adaptation. They were having trouble trying to figure out when to set it in, at what point in his career it was going to be. He also said he complained a little bit about people lobbing the woke criticism at him. I said this before, woke and DEI became a thing, and I'm still saying it after. Marvel is the world outside your window. This is New York and LA, and yes, there's also Wakanda and Asgard, but it is all made up of the people who make up our world. He also said Brand New Day is going to be more street level. We're seeing him, Spider-Man, for the first time be a proper Spider-Man, him being by himself, dedicated to saving the city, as opposed to world-ending events. And he said he is actively talking to Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman about future appearances of their versions of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay. Wait. You didn't mention the Blade thing?
I did talk about Blade.
You talked a bunch
Yeah.
about Blade. What specific?
Yeah,
Blade thing?
it's currently in pre-production again.
Oh yeah. No,
that's gonna be
you did
modern
mention.
day.
Oh, I was waiting for the four drafts thing.
Oh yeah, it's gone through 4 drafts because they were trying to find when to set it in both timeline wise and in his actual personal.
All right. I want to start the Blade thing because that's what I'm.
Well, there's
thinking
also
about
that
right
comment
now.
about there was a whole warehouse full of costumes for the movie, which is crazy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was about to mention that when I was talking about Blade because I've kind of a hot and cold, much like Kevin Feige, I'm hot and cold on Blade right now. Okay. Here's what I got. First off, the costume thing that was for Sinners, the movie me and Boingo watched. And that was a really good
also
movie,
saw
but
it.
apparently it was like they used costumes from like a scrapped draft, where it's like it was that far that they were making costumes for the movie that they just decided to use in Sinners, which is kind of crazy. Now here's the thing: I kind of get why they're being hesitant on Blade. Like what they said, we want it to mean something. I get why they don't just want like I think the choice of wording is poor, where it's like, oh, you can't just have them kill vampires, and it's like I think people are like oversimplifying it, where it's like, yeah, the movie should be like that, but I kind of get what he means, where it's like I want it to have a meaning, I want it to have a message, but it's like, but I do agree that it's like the way he worded it was poorly, and I do feel like there probably was a better version of this movie that we're never going to see, but like, hey, I'll just take what I can get at this. That's my Blade talk. In terms of just how that production's going. Probably the most level-headed I've been about a Marvel thing in a bit.
I do think it is interesting that they're being very clear. It's like, hey, we're kind of doing a reset after Secret Wars.
I kind of here's the one thing I don't mind doing.
I mean, everybody's kind of been expecting it since Endgame ended.
Yeah, but just to be clear about it and go like, yeah, no, we're kind of going back to square one.
Here's what I don't like. I don't like them like immediately because they said one timeline. I don't like them immediately axing the multiverse. I know people hate the multiverse, but like I think you
well, here's the thing: the multiverse isn't reliant on timelines.
Well, here's the other thing: people hate the buzzword, the multiverse. They haven't had that concept presented to them in a way that they find palatable yet. They don't know that they like the multiverse yet. The MCU just hasn't been able to find a way to show it to them.
Yeah, because it's mainly just been used to get like older versions of past characters rather than like new versions of characters.
And like, here's the thing: I'm fine with Marvel retiring, being reliant on the multiverse at least for a while, because going back to Superman, it gives DC room to do that, and DC was the first comic book company that did a lot with the multiverse. And there's a scene in Superman where you see a mural of a bunch of past heroes, and one of those heroes is Vibe. And Vibe's powers are very tied into the multiverse. So this is a DC universe that has already interacted with the multiverse before.
Mm-hmm.
Precedent is there. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, the whole thing though, with that comment though, when it comes to like DC anything versus like Marvel anything, it always feels like the multiverse is just much more like accepted and integrated into DC than it is Marvel.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's fair, especially because of the world outside your window comment, which I did find pretty based.
Yeah, for Marvel, the multiverse is more of just like that's a thing over there. It's more of like a thing happened.
Yeah, I think it's just like in modern day with like Spider-Verse and shit, it's been like so ingrained into like my modern understanding of the company. So
yeah, like I mean, we'll see Spider-Verse and stuff like that, or we'll see like Reed get involved with it or something like that, like the Fantastic Four. But like when you hop over to DC, it's usually the Justice League getting involved with it. So like all of the big main characters are dealing with multiverse versions of their own characters.
Well, that's the thing, is the first multiverse stories in comics were an excuse for the Justice League to interact with the Justice Society, because they had been relegated to their own universe when they kind of did some minor reboots and tweaks at the beginning of the Silver Age. And then Crisis on Infinite Earths happens, and then it's recanonicized that the Justice Society are like a precursor to the Justice League, that they're like 20 to 30 years before the Justice League. And it seems like that's what they're going with in this universe, where like the Justice Gang is paying homage to the Justice Society. So maybe this is a DC universe where they've already had their own version of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Maybe.
We'll
But like
see.
in Marvel, the multiverse is just basically an excuse to go like, oh hey, that weird alternate timeline story we did forever ago, it's still happening over there, so we can go visit it when we want
Yeah,
to.
2099, like
Age of Apocalypse, Days of Future Past, a lot of X-Men ones are that. House of M, you know.
It's almost like Marvel's multiverse was largely formed by Alan Moore trying to suss out stuff in, what was that, the 80s?
Yeah, and Captain Britain.
Yeah.
You know.
interesting. Anyway,
I think it's
everything
interesting.
else is like pretty. Everything else is pretty like on brand. I just wanted to mention the Blade thing because I have mixed feelings on that. Where it's like I'm not as mad as Bluesky or Twitter is about the Blade thing, but I'm like at this rate, it's like you've screwed up my sandwich 4 times. Come on, get your act together.
Blade's just not a character I super care about, so I'm like, yeah, he'll happen when he happens. As long as he has a sword and he uses it to kill
And at least he's
vampires,
gotten
that's
a
all
movie.
I care
Like,
about.
at least he's gotten movies before, so I'm not like in a rush. And this isn't like Fantastic Four, where it's like, oh, this is the first good Fantastic Four movie we're getting, or like Blade has had good movies before.
Hey,
I
Roger
like Michael
Corman made a
Chiklis as
perfectly
the
good
Thing.
Fantastic Four movie.
I get that like we fucked up Galactus, but like
I
we
like
had a
the-
good
I like
Silver
how the
Surfer,
Thing
and the
looked.
first one was fucking. I haven't
I
watched
like
it in a
how-
long time. so
No, I'm
I don't
sorry,
know.
Cody. I'll back you on Michael Chiklis, and I even like that version of Johnny Storm to an extent. But Reed in
The
that
dead
movie,
one?
Reed in both those movies, kind of is off depending on the scene, and Jessica Alba as Sue Storm is just
Terrible
the worst
miscast.
casting in the
Terrible
world.
miscast. Terrible miscast. Like she's
Um,
like that is not Stu. I'm
Lawrence
sorry.
Fishburne voicing Silver Surfer though is pretty good.
Oh yeah, well
that
here's
was
what I'll
him?
say about those movies. The Thing toy in that Fox Fantastic Four movie has a talking feature, and it's actually just the incognito the Thing Toy Biz toy, and it doesn't do that.
Well, god damn.
I think that's a reason to hate the movie, Cody.
It is.
I'm happy that we're finally getting back to saying they're gonna James Bond characters at some point. 'Cause
Yeah,
that was something they said a lot early on, and they actually did it with Rhodey, and that's part of why I was so pissed off about the way they ended Cap and Iron Man's stories in Endgame.
Yeah, that felt more like trying to give the flowers to Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans.
I don't
You
know.
know?
I do think we should be able to James Bond, I didn't mind it because it's like we had the legacy potential, but that kind of fell off because I did Brave New World looks ass, and I haven't heard a thing about
And
Ironheart.
honestly, on the whole, Ironheart's not necessarily an Iron Man legacy character. She's her own thing.
I know
She's
she's
just
her own thing,
armor.
yeah, but it's like if you just two common eyes, it's like
To an idiot, yes, she looks like a legacy character. What I was about to say is, fuck, I can't remember now.
Beautiful.
Now remember, I got it. The
Go ahead.
last 3 major MCU films feel like basically a test for the next, including Fantastic Four, of what they kind of go like, okay, how should we fix the MCU and make it the cultural juggernaut we want it to be, right? So yeah, Brave New World, which is kind of what they've been doing, staying the course, all that kind of stuff, and it's like, nope, middling critics, middling box office, all that kind of stuff. Okay, let's try to recapture some of that older magic with Thunderbolts. Okay, we got good critical response, and a lot of people are enjoying it, but it's not doing great at the box office because people are burnt out on false promises and that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, okay, hyper stylized, hyper like going deeper into the aesthetics and deeper into all this different kind of stuff, putting a lot more time and energy, and you know, doing the James Gunn don't start anything till you have a script, give it a lot of time to work on the effects.
Like the thing is, like I don't
Make a
mind them
movie.
like I think my thing about the James Bonding of like I don't mind them doing that. I just don't trust the current direction of Marvel to not rush that shit.
Is that a James Gunn thing to not do something before you have the script, or is that just
No,
how?
that's just a common
I'm
movie.
pretty sure
mentioning it
that's how,
because-
like,
That's the way filmmaking used to be before the MCU.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus. Y'all
Okay,
kept saying it, and I
thing.
was like, "Oh, hold on! Like that sounds like how you're supposed to fucking do it." Is that?
Cody,
And
Cody,
I
literally.
guess I didn't realize. I
Iron
truly
Man
did not
started
realize.
filming and the script was not finished. Half of the movie was already filmed before they had a completed script. Most of that movie was improvised. MCU
And the-
has always been rocking on
They've always
paperclips,
Oh,
duct
Wait,
and
I'm
they're
tape.
about to say
what?
something.
And they're still doing that to an extent. They're filming Doomsday right now, and there are Hollywood insiders who are saying they're having issues with the third act.
Uh-oh.
God
But that's what I'm saying.
damn.
Fantastic Four feels like a completely different direction in that.
Yeah.
Of like,
I was about to say, Boingo, can we call this the Marvel method?
it is a very Marvel method thing. It's like trying to just get all of it together, and sometimes it can work great stuff. It made Iron Man 2008. It made some good movies.
But it's not the way everything
It's
should
not
work.
sustainable. It's not workable, and with more and more pressure from the higher ups, that's
I feel
what
like
causes a
billions
lot
of dollars might disagree with you, but just the quality would agree with you.
I mean,
Yeah.
even the money's starting to disagree because it's like it's they're not making as much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
but
it's like Doomsday's gonna
I-
cost like $1 billion. It's like gonna barely break even at this point. Basically
There's
gonna
no
rely on
way it's
merchandise.
worth that, though.
no.
What's the budget on Doomsday right now? Let me check.
I don't know, and I honestly don't care that much.
No, well, screw you. You're about to find out.
Well,
But
fuck.
here's
I'm not getting
the,
stressed out about a budget in a movie ever again, not since Transformers 1.
Yeah,
God damn it.
but
I mean, at least broke even. So.
here's something. I
Yeah,
just
but
wanna-
like, I hoped for it to break
Can we
even.
not
I
talk
hate-
about Transformers 1 tonight?
No. It's already happened twice, I think. Fuck you.
Yeah, because you mentioned we bookending it. It's like you mentioned TF Hype guy at the beginning. Now we're mentioning it at the end.
True.
Anyway.
I wasn't even me. Ooh.
By the way, I was saying
Ooh.
that as like a I'm trying to show personal restraint kind of thing.
Too
Not
bad.
like this guy is something I want to aspire to.
Yeah, you want to aspire to be a child.
But
Anyway.
I think I'm a lot more hopeful in the MCU because Fantastic Four looks great. We haven't seen
Thunderbolts
it
was
yet.
good.
Thunderbolts was really good. We have had some great projects. Like people have been going like, "Oh, the MCU's falling off." Motherfucker, it's just projects are getting greenlit too soon, and the House of Cards is falling down a little bit. If they like. Because
Like, hell, even Marvel
Loki
itself,
was-
even Marvel adaptations themselves, there's some cool video games, there's some animation going on. You know?
Loki was great, right? WandaVision, pretty damn good. People have been coming around on Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, Agatha all along.
I
was
don't get
pretty
why
well
that's
received.
something to come around on. I like that movie.
No,
For me,
a lot of
Multiverse of Madness. I don't know. I feel like the title was a bit misleading. There wasn't as much
Okay.
madness as I was expecting.
I want to switch gears and just say like I've been campaigning for a street level Spider-Man thing in this universe for so long.
Is that
And even though
Homecoming?
I made a joke tweet about like, oh, we're not getting big wheeled ends, like I am very cautiously optimistic about Brand New Day all of a sudden. Like I thought this movie seems like a weird mishmash of things, knowing that it's called that the Ned and NJ actors are going to be in it to some extent, but also John Barenfall's Punisher is going to be in it. Like it seemed so odd, but now that you say it's street level, and oh, the Punisher's in it, or dare I say, are we finally getting the Sin Eater movie I've been pining after all these years?
Okay, hold on there.
Okay, if
hold
we
on,
get
hold
Sin Eater and Punishers there instead of Daredevil, what the fuck?
Oh, but that would be the amazing thing, right? Is like Spider-Man's constantly going like, no, we have to catch him so he can face proper justice. And Punisher's like, he's killing people, let me kill him.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Anything else about the Marvel news we can touch
Real
on?
quick, I do want to slip in something, not to cynical your hope away. Just think about what you just said, and then think about what you said earlier about Kevin Feige and what he said, Sony said, not to do with Miles. They have the ultimate say in a lot more than I think we realize. And
Oh yeah.
I don't think I like Sony as a company anymore.
Nobody
I-
does.
I
don't
haven't liked
any
Sony
company.
as a company in a decade, dude.
Yeah, but I've been on their fucking shitty consoles for like a while, and it's
Yeah, no, I get where Cody's coming from. I get where Cody's coming from.
I've been dealing with Sony from like a multitude of different ways, and I used to think that they were the best, and now they.
Hey, my first video game system was a PS2. I feel ya.
Yeah. It was a lot of people's first. Anyway,
Mine was a Nintendo, I guess, Game Boy.
Mine was a
Game
Game
Boy.
Boy and then a
Before, but I had the
PS1.
Game Boy.
and anyway, is
Yeah,
that all
this
the
ain't the
Marvel
one to
stuff
get
we want to
sidereeled
talk
on,
about,
sorry.
or do we got it like all figured out?
I mean, as far as like the Marvel stuff, I don't have anything else to say. Do you guys want to comment on anything in particular?
It's gonna be a strong thing for society if we can get the first family and the best family and the hope, the best beacon of hope in the Marvel universe and the best beacon of hope in DC universe in the same month. If both of those things can be good things in the same month, that's going to be a real great thing for a bunch of people who like those things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I said this before we started recording, and Buster told me I had to say this in the podcast. The
Pee-pee
Superman
poo-poo?
movie has made me feel so optimistic and good about the world in general. I've been looking into how to get involved in local politics again, and I've been on a fitness kick the last 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
That's what we
I
love
have,
to see.
I have been consciously trying to hold open more doors.
Yeah,
That's definitely good, and that's a good way to make a difference.
yeah. The little things help.
Not
The
the
little
important
things help.
thing to actually getting
I just
involved.
don't want to downplay like the act of fascism or anything like that, because that's still going on.
Yeah,
Superman's
yeah. I
not
mean,
gonna
hey,
fix
we
that.
gotta stick together, man.
No.
We still
Yeah.
gotta stick together.
It's more of just like, hey, this thing gave me momentary joy, and I want to use that to further.
Side
Yeah.
note, real quick,
Yes.
to contradict myself, because I almost wanted to say it earlier.
Yes.
To draw a real thin string to the concept of the whole 3.5% rule, if you know what that is, to where like if there's like a general like group of people and like up to 3.5% of them can feel a certain way, then you can actually change like that's the like magic number that helps change like a crowd or like a whole group of people's feelings and emotions and everything like that. I think something that is such a unapologetic like beacon of hope that's going to be just easily to digest, like it'll be on in the background and you won't really have a option to face about it. I think that it could have a positive turning point. It already has shown us that like people are being more kind, and it's kind of like pulled some bandages off. But it's
Yeah.
important not to just look at that and be like, oh thank God, and then like put your head back in your hands.
Don't
Like-
fall into the bystander effect.
Yeah, don't be like, oh thank God things are fine again.
Superman isn't saying someone helps. Superman is pointing directly at you and saying, you help.
Mhm.
You're Superman all along, and we can't do it without you.
Be the change you want to see in the world. But
So we have no
Superman.
time to talk about what I've been getting up to.
No. I was actually about to say it's getting rather late, and I know Buster probably has to leave soon. So, Buster, why don't you talk about how you donkeyed your Kong?
Oh, I've been wanting to hear about this. I forgot we were doing this.
Next week. Oh, you know, I'm too tired. I gotta.
No, it can't be next week, Buster. Next week is
Oh.
Analytical Fanboys.
You have to.
Okay. Donkey Kong. I'll try my best. Donkey Kong Bonanza. I played it. I beat the whole story mode. Not gonna spoil anything because there's actually some things to spoil in the last act.
Is Chunky
Only-
dead?
No, I don't even think he's in the game.
Do you get to play as Lanky Kong?
No.
Damn it.
Is Diddy
There's
Kong
only-
in there?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, you race against him like on the trailer showed. You race against him on the rhinos. It's really cool.
Oh, whatever. Fuck you then.
Well, you don't want to race against Diddy Kong on the rhinos?
No, but I didn't know it was fucking already. Like, I don't know. I've not paid attention to it on purpose because I don't want any reason to fucking go out and buy a whole console because I know I want that game. And I know that game, like, as much as Splatoon was enough to get me to buy a Switch, I know that shit's gonna be enough.
I mean, they
in
already
a whole
announced the
nother level.
Splatoon spin-off for Switch 2.
I know that. I know there's gonna be other good games. I always know that, but like,
Yeah. Take your time. Take your time, Cody. Take your time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna talk about Donkey Kong. Oh my God, the Odyssey team cooked. The Mario Odyssey team, because Mario Odyssey was like the last game they worked on, and they've been prototyping this since 2017.
Wow.
Originally for Switch One, but then Switch 2 was coming along, so it's like, hey, this game would just run better if we put it on the new thing, and it would be a great launch
So Breath of
title.
the Wild situation.
Yeah, but they didn't put it on Switch One, unlike
Or a
Breath of the
Twilight
Wild, at least-
Princess situation.
Yeah, well, yeah, they didn't like those. At least
Or an
came out
Animal
on the-
Crossing situation.
Or a Pong situation. I'm just
Hogwarts. Yeah, but the point is, Donkey Kong came out on the Switch too. It's the reason
the
I
real
got
Leisure
the thing.
Suit Larry Sixard.
It's half the reason I got the thing, besides it being the new Nintendo thing, And oh man, it feels so nice to have like a big 3. I didn't get to play the new Kirby like when it came out. I'll play it like next month when the expansion comes out. But like this, it feels nice to have like a big 3D platformer like Nintendo game again, and just like I could do like I can break. This could be a great stim game for kids because they could just get out all their energy by just breaking the ground, and like you actually get like rewards for doing that. You can get like maps to collectibles or like even collectibles themselves. You can like the movement options are so fun to game break.
It
Like,
looks like the reward is playing for once.
Yeah, the reward is playing, but for those who are like, for the cynics who are like, I need to like skill points, they still offer that. Like they still offer that. Like
I need a fake number to tell me I'm good.
Yeah, they do have the fake number. They have RPG elements. And like the rules, like it's not too much story, but the story they do have is very adorable and like cute, and it's like, yeah, I'm glad they're letting. It's like a Mario Galaxy level of story where it's both the spectacle and the little like personal stakes. With like Mario Galaxy, you had like the big, of course, the galaxy in space, but you also had like the Rosalina's book. This one, you have Pauline's little arc about like her becoming more confident in her music.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that because, like, I'm not going to play this game. I'm just not. I'm not playing new Nintendo games because I'm not going to shell out the money for a new Nintendo console. That goes back to Switch One with me. Of just like, if it's not on PC, I'm not going to play it at this point in my life. But I am curious, like, what is the deal with Paulina in this game?
Well, I don't want to spoil it because it's kind of a spoiler because it involves the last act of the game. But the way they handled the Pauline stuff was really cute. It's really adorable. Like, people made The Last of Us or God of War, Dad of War comparisons, and those are apt. But it's like done in this very Nintendo like charming like move. It felt like an animated movie. Is the best way to describe it. Where I mean, they already just said animated Donkey Kong inspired a lot of this game. But like,
I mean, it does, like, just visually to me, it kind of looks like Wreck-It Ralph and his little girl sidekick, whose name I don't remember.
Penelope.
Yeah.
Penelope. Or Vinelope? Vinelope?
No, I'm Penelope. I don't know why I
Penelope
said,
with the V.
yeah, I don't know why I said whatever. But yeah, it's like,
Guadalupe!
who cares?
All right.
But like Doc, yeah, just like the way they use the music as like basically a power up, where it's like you basically activate your like a super form, like, and there's like multiple super forms you can acquire throughout the game. Like that's what the bonanza in the game stands for. It's like you're going in your bonanza transformation. Shit's cool. Like if you play Mario Odyssey, the world themes are pretty similar to that, but they do enough to make it stand out. But hey, it's still smart reuse of assets. It's still like you so much polish for a Nintendo game. I mean, all the game, like, it just, someone put it best where like the game made them sad because it realizes, man, like Nintendo's like one of the only studios who like keeps and like trains new employees. I mean, granted, there's other studios, but like all these layoffs happening where it's like potential like developers aren't getting their chance in the limelight.
I
and being
mean,
forced to work on.
culturally, that's a very Japanese thing, and Nintendo is one of the few like true Japan game studios.
True, yeah.
An easy comparison I can just draw is Takara. The same designers who were working on Transformers in the 90s are still working on it today, and they're always like training new people
Yeah,
and then
some people
sending them
pointed
off
to
to
it-
go work on other lines.
Yeah, some people have pointed it to being like a Japanese work culture thing. Some people have pointed it to just being like Nintendo thing. It's a whole.
I mean,
thing. Like,
Capcom did it somewhat. Oh. I think we really are getting to the button on this.
Yeah, okay, we have to wrap up soon, but like just overall about the Donkey Kong game's great. I'll probably talk a little bit more about it in like the coming weeks because as I like try to 100% it and stuff and like explore more. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it. I want to do a video on it, but I'm looking for the right words. So
That's fair.
Ooh-ee.
Yeah. Monkeys.
Think
He
tank.
sure did
funny.
Donkey. He sure did Kong.
Oh, we forgot to talk about the monkeys in Superman. Oh, they were funny.
That's a fun gag.
No,
It's a
we
good
talked
gag.
about Snyderverse people a lot.
I can't believe they got them in the movie. They all must be so happy about their special little cameo.
Anyway, let's wrap up. I'm gonna plug my
Hashtag super
stuff.
shit.
Come on, you know that specifically irritates me.
You know what? I'm super glad that they let Superman curse in the movie.
Yeah,
That's the only curse he says, though, and he says it because he's quoting something. The rest of the time, he says he's wholesome non-swears, and I love it.
yeah.
Okay, let's wrap up because if we start talking about Superman again, we'll just keep talking. Buster, tell the people where they can find you.
Hi, I'm Buster. You can find both my other podcast on this channel, Toku Talkers, and you can also find my channel at the Buster Corp. I just released an analysis video and a music video I really like. Anyway, go subscribe, go follow my Bluesky, do all the buttons, click things. Yay.
Then where can people find you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Simeon. My online, I guess, brand is kind of nebulous at the moment, but I have a link tree down in the video description. If you like the kind of stuff I had to say during this episode about DC and other media properties, you'll find me saying those things in other places, and you'll probably like that too.
All right, Cody.
Hello, my name is SnowCone83, and you can find me at Bluesky at SnowCone83, or on Instagram at never_robot. And that's it.
Hell yeah. I'm Boingo. You can find me on a variety of places on YouTube at Boingo Writer, on Twitch at Boingo Writer, and on Blue Sky at Boingo Writer. It's very easy to find me. In the meantime, this has been Modular Components. I hope you enjoyed your stay here. Please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on the podcasting platform that you are currently listening to us on. And next week, we will be hitting you with an analytical fanboys on Record of Lodos War. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. In the meantime, did anybody have any final words?
Superman.
Superman.
Superman.